Over the past few years, I've built and scaled multi-million-dollar e-commerce companies utilizing Facebook advertising. And in this course, I'm going to teach you absolutely everything that I know about Facebook ads so you can also find that level of success for your brand or your agency. All that I ask is that you can hit this like button on this video as it really helps out my channel. Along with that, subscribe with notifications on if you're into advertising and e-commerce. This course is brought to you by Ponder.com, which is an artificial intelligence platform for Facebook advertisers. They have tools that can write your copy, perform creative analysis, optimize your ads. They offer courses, research studies, and so much more. And fun fact, I'm actually the founder of Ponder.com. So with that said, definitely go check out Ponder. We've got everything you need. And here in this course, I'm gonna give you the education completely free. So if you want some tools to help you out with your Facebook advertising journey and your road to success, go ahead and check out Ponder. Without further ado, I hope you enjoy this Facebook ads course, and I cannot wait to see the level of success that you find using all of our strategies. Let's get into it. What are Facebook ads and what is Facebook advertising? That's an actual question I'm asking you right now, and I want you to define your answer of what are Facebook ads. Since I obviously can't hear you in your response, I'm going to use my fiance Maggie as an example. She has never run Facebook ads herself. So, hey Maggie, what are Facebook ads and what is Facebook advertising?
Facebook ads are advertisements that you see that come up on your newsfeed that are products and things that come from your...
That is what I was expecting as an answer. And that's what I was expecting for your answer to be as well. Now, let me rephrase this in a way that hopefully brings some more clarity to why I expect you to say that. When I ask you, what are these? What are Apple AirPods? You're probably going to say they're headphones, they play music. But let's break this down. There's a driver, there's plastic, there's coils, there's software, there's foam ear tips that produce the headphone, that produce the music. The music and the listening is just the end result. And when you're scrolling your newsfeed and you see a sponsored post appear, that's the end result. In order to efficiently run Facebook ads, you first need to understand what Facebook ads really are. What are Facebook ads? More than 2 billion people use Facebook every single month. Advertisers bid to show their ad on those people's devices. Facebook advertising is simply an online auction. Each time there's an opportunity to show someone an ad, an auction takes place to determine which advertiser will have the chance to show their ad. Billions of auctions take place every single day across the Facebook family of apps and network of websites. When we as advertisers create ads, we tell Facebook who we want to show our ads to by defining a target audience. A person can fall into multiple target audiences. For example, one advertiser targets women who like skiing, while another advertiser targets all skiers who live in California. The same person, in this case a female skier who lives in California, could fall into the target audience of both of the advertisers. So now when there's an opportunity to show that single person an ad and there's multiple advertisers targeting them, those advertisers will now enter an auction where they will bid to show their creative on that user's device. So how do you win an auction? To ensure that the winning ad maximizes value for both people and the business, the winner of the auction is the ad with the highest total value. And this is extremely, extremely important to take note of. The highest total value is a combination of 3 major factors. Number 1, the bid. The bid is placed by an advertiser for that ad placement. In other words, what is the advertiser willing to pay to achieve their desired outcome? And there's actually multiple ways to manage your bid in an ad auction. We'll discuss this later on in the course, but for now, the first key of a highest total value is the bid. What amount is the advertiser willing to pay to show their ad to that user on their device? Number 2, estimated action rates. An estimate of whether a particular person engages with or converts from a particular ad. In other words, the probability that showing an ad to a person leads to that desired outcome of the advertiser. For example, if your goal is a purchase, what is the estimated probability that If Facebook shows your ad, that user will result in a purchase. Finally, number 3, ad quality. Ad quality is a measure of the quality of an ad as determined from many sources, including feedback from people viewing or hiding the ad, and assessments of low-quality attributes in the ad, such as withholding information, sensationalized language, and engagement bait. And the big takeaway is that engaging in clickbait and engagement bait does not improve ad performance. So together, these estimated action rates and ad quality measure the ad relevance. In fact, Facebook subsidizes relevant ads in auctions. So more relevant ads actually cost less and see more results. In other words, an ad that's relevant to a person could win an auction against ads with higher bids. And this is a big trend that we've been seeing over the past few years with Facebook. After they got in some trouble with the government and with the Cambridge Analytica scheme, they became, quote unquote, more transparent with their users. And a big piece of that was making the user's experience on Facebook better. And so, as advertisers, by creating a good experience for the user and a good experience to Facebook by driving results, it's a win-win, and Facebook will actually charge you less to show your ad more against people that are trying to outbid you. So how do you know if your ad performed against those 3 mentioned criteria? There's actually a way to view in the Ads Manager, but once again, we're gonna get into that later on in the course. As you just learned, there's a lot more to Facebook ads. Facebook ads aren't just the posts that you see advertising a product on your newsfeed or in your inbox. There's so much more beneath it, and as a future advertiser or an existing advertiser, it's extremely crucial that we know the inner workings of how to feed the Facebook system and algorithm with exactly what they need to drive industry-leading results. Now it's time to actually get into the Facebook advertising ecosystem. So go ahead, grab a cup of coffee, and get your computer because we are going to dive straight into it. Before we jump into the Facebook ads platform, you need to understand why you're clicking the buttons. And when it comes to building a business manager, it's actually extremely vital that you understand the structure beneath it in order to build it correctly. So before we actually go into the ads platform on your computer, grab a notebook. I highly recommend a whiteboard if you have $50 to $100 to invest. This is my favorite tool. And let's go through what a business manager actually is. So what you see here is one business manager, and I want you to take note of that. This structure that I'm about to run through is only one business manager, and that's what you're going to be building here in the next 4 to 5 minutes. So for my business, which is called Ponder, you can put whatever name your business is or preparing to launch, whatever the name is. This is Ponder's business manager. So we create the business manager, and then underneath of it, every single business manager can have multiple ad accounts. For example, Ponder's business manager now has 15 ad accounts attached to it. So the ad accounts are the child of a single business manager. What else can a business manager hold? Pixels, your data sources. A business manager can have infinite amount of pixels which store all of the crucial data that Facebook needs to deliver you results. Business managers also hold the pages. So any Facebook page or Instagram page that you might want to run ads with can be held by one single business manager. Along with that, and that's not even close to what the tip of the iceberg really is for business managers. You can have catalogs, product catalogs, infinite amounts here. You can have, as I mentioned, Instagram accounts. You can have your media assets, videos, images, your payment methods, and it goes on and on. But what I want you to focus on right now is understanding that we are going to create, in this lesson, a business manager, and that single business manager will be the parent of everything that you will do in the Facebook ads ecosystem. So with that said, take a moment to understand this structure, understand that what you're going to build is essentially the boss, the owner of everything that you're going to do in the future throughout this Ponder advertising course. So let's hop back over to the computer and actually start to implement your business manager right now. Now that you understand the structure of a business manager, it's actually time to go and build yours. So get your computer and go to business.facebook.com/overview. That's business.facebook.com/overview. And the page that you're going to land on will look very similar to this one right here. This page, if you're interested in learning basically what we just discussed about the structure, I actually covered more detail than what's provided on this page, but you can give it a read. Otherwise, we are really just interested in the one button up here that is going to allow us to create our account. So let's go ahead and click Create Account. So at this point, you have three options. You can enter your business and account name, your name, and your business email. So in this example, I use my fiance's name, Maggie Jean. Next, we need to enter our business and account name. So let's pretend Maggie is creating a business called Maggie's Cupcakes. And then her email is maggie@maggiescupcakes.com. Obviously, don't enter made up information. Just use your information because this is your business manager account. And then click Submit. What you're going to see is mine says unable to create account. You have reached the limit for the number of businesses you can create at this time. As of this recording, Facebook only allows you to create and utilize 2 business managers. So treat your business managers with care. Make sure they're in good standing because you only get 2. If you blow through those 2, you're kind of out of luck. So create your business manager and hit Submit. If it asks you for some more details, go ahead, fill it out as they request, and you're going to land on a page like this. And if your page looks a bit different, go to business.facebook.com/select. business.facebook.com/select. And you're going to see your business manager that you just created. So for mine, as I mentioned, I have Ponder. You can see the multiple ad accounts, multiple pages, and then the people that have access. What you'll also notice is, as I mentioned, I have 2 business managers. So what I would like you to do is click on this button that says Create Business if you don't have 2 business managers already. Pause this video, click Create Business, and repeat the sign-up steps that we just used, but call it V2 or backup. For example, I have Ponder, then Ponder V2. I cannot recommend having a backup business manager enough. It's extremely crucial. There's a lot of weird policies that Facebook accidentally flags business managers for. So at some point you could be advertising. And then all of a sudden your ads stop running and you check and it says your business manager is restricted from advertising for policy violation. You're going to have to submit a review, and a few days later, a few weeks later, they'll give you your account back, but that's a lot of downtime that us as advertisers can't have. So by having a backup business manager, you're always going to be good to go, always prepared for the worst. So go ahead, pause this video, create your second one, and then come back to here. All right, welcome back. So select your main business manager. For this demonstration and this lesson, I'm going to be using Ponder V2 because it's a clean business manager. It's more from scratch where you are building yours from. And I have client accounts on this main one that I don't want to accidentally reveal any information that I shouldn't be revealing. So go ahead, select your business manager, and let's go through this. The goal here is not to fully configure every single detail of this. We're going to be breaking down all of these different things in the next lessons in Ponder Facebook advertising course. All you need to understand here is the basic navigation. We're going to go through some additional settings and some how-tos here in this business manager video, but the main part is to get familiar with it because you're going to be spending a lot of time in your business manager. So let's start with the left-hand navigation bar. We have this drop-down. As you can see, it says the name of your business manager that you're currently in. If you click this, you can toggle through some additional ones. So this is a quick way to access all of your business manager accounts. Below that, we have Ads Manager, and we're going to cover this in the next lesson. So don't go trying to create your ad account right now. You're going to get overwhelmed, lost, and you're not going to take away what you need from this lesson here. So Ads Manager is going to give you access to your advertising account where you can actually run the ads that we'll be building here in a moment. Next lessons. Below that, we have audiences. So as soon as we get to the part of this course where we build out your marketing funnel, we build a Ponder diamond, we're going to be utilizing this audiences tab. Below that, we have ads reporting, which sounds which is exactly like it sounds. When you're running ads, you want to know, how much did you spend? How much did you make? What is your return on ad spend? Ads reporting is a great way to quickly pull that data. You can export it to spreadsheets and do a lot of fun things that are very, very useful for your business that we'll be covering here in the Ponder Facebook advertising course. Below that, we have ad account settings. You can configure your ad accounts, really fine tune them, time zones, conversion windows, some really neat stuff. Don't click it yet. I know all of this is very, very exciting stuff, but trust me, get familiar with this business manager. Below that, we have business settings. We're actually going to go in there and actually in this lesson here in a moment. Underneath Events Manager, this is where you can test your events. So when we get to the part where we get the pixel set up, which is going to be on your website and collects data and events, you can go to this Events Manager tab and monitor it, make sure everything's healthy, make sure everything's firing correctly, make sure Facebook's getting all the data that it needs to help you achieve your desired result with advertising. So this is the homepage. This is the homepage and really the door to the Facebook advertising ecosystem. So let's take a look at this main section here. We have ad account performance. I never use this section, but basically when you are running ads, you can come here, you can quickly see your spend, reach, and impressions. I don't find it too useful, but it's there. Below that, we have pages. So these are all of the pages that this business manager is connected to. As I mentioned, you can have a ton of pages. I've seen business managers with 1,000+ pages connected to it. We'll touch on how to connect your page in the future lesson, but it is here. And then alerts, occasionally if a payment method fails, if something goes down, rejected, you're going to get alerts and you can see all of that here. For right now, what I want to do is actually go into the business settings. So go ahead, hop over to the left navigation where it says business settings, click it. And now let's enter the world of the business settings. As you can see, this left side navigation got substantially bigger. And there's a lot of different options here, but the good news is we're not going to focus on those at this time. So go ahead and for the sake of simplicity and focus, minimize those tabs that self-opened. What you immediately see is this people tab. So under here, you can actually add other people that can manage your business manager. So let's say you have a family member or an employee or a business partner that you want to be able to access your pages, your ad accounts, your product catalogs, your pixels. You can do that right here. So if in this case, I wanted to add an employee, I would type employee@ponder.com. I would enter their email. I would click add. They would get the notification. And then as soon as they join, you are going to see them below this list. So let's say that you added your husband or wife right now to your account. Once they accept, you'll see their name and you can click on their name and you can actually add the access at different levels for them. It's very straightforward. And there's not a ton to it, but what's important is just to get them added. If you know somebody right away that you want to get added, go ahead and do that now. But you're not going to have any resources to provide access to, but at least you have them added, which we can utilize here in the coming modules. So this is the users tab, and you're going to see people, partners, and system users. Don't worry about those right now. People is the only one that's important, and you can add employees and so forth. Next, we have accounts. So this is where we're going to actually, in the next lessons, add pages, accounts, asset groups, a lot of really neat stuff. We have data sources. As I mentioned, you can create your pixels, your catalogs. Upcoming, I know I'm getting you guys excited to actually start doing this, but I want to show you and run you through the business manager in detail. So this is where you can access all the different pixels, your Shopify product catalogs if you have one set up, domains, and so forth. Registrations, I personally haven't used registrations. I personally haven't used integrations too often. But the big one is going to be payments. So this is what I would like you to do now in preparation to actually pay for the ads you're going to be running. You can click add payment method and you can enter in your preferred credit card, business credit card. You can use a debit card, whatever form of payment that you're going to use, go ahead and enter it here. And as soon as you have it added, just leave it as is, because then we can quickly connect your ad account when we create your ad account. So pause it, get your payment method set up. Let's go down to Security Center. This is one that I actually do recommend doing. So two-factor authentication is a really good way to get in Facebook's good standing quickly. So what is two-factor authentication? So when you go to facebook.com, you log in with your password. That's one-factor authentication. Two-factor would be when you log in with your password and then it sends you a text message with a code that you now have to enter. That is two-factor authentication. Facebook has placed a huge importance on incentivizing people to enable two-factor authentication. Why? Because number one, it stops people from hacking business managers, which can cause a lot of issues. Imagine someone hacking your ad account and spending $5,000 in one day on ads that don't go to your website. Very bad situation. So two-factor prevents that. And the one thing that's really big in Facebook's eyes is preventing people from using other people's accounts. So let's say Facebook bans someone's account and then they go purchase another one. Well, if that other account has two-factor authentication enabled, the purchaser can't access it. In Facebook's eyes, that's a win-win. So a lot of times what has been happening as of recent is people will actually lose their business manager. It'll say disabled, please verify your identity, and Facebook will enforce that user to actually enable this. So what am I saying? I do recommend enabling this right from the start. I have this enabled on my main business manager, and I will do this here as soon as I start running my ads on this account, which you will see me do in the later modules. But go ahead and get this set up. I would recommend for everyone, that's always the best way. That means anyone that you add to your ad account in the future is going to be required to do some form of two-factor authentication. The other way to get in Facebook's good standings right from the start is verifying your business. If you are someone that has an LLC, you're a sole proprietor, basically if you have an EIN number with the government and you're registered as a business, I would 100% recommend doing business verification. Once again, I have my other business manager verified and I'm waiting on my LLC for my new brand, Purified. And as soon as that is done, what I'll do is I will simply fill in this information. So my new LLC is let's just call it Purified LLC. We'll hit next. It's going to actually ask you for those license and those documents. So whatever you have, just upload it. You're going to give your address, your phone number, and then it's going to have you finalize that verification. And the best part about that is you're going to get the verified check, and Facebook is going to trust you a lot more than if you weren't verified, which means there's a less likelihood of you facing those unreasonable policy bans or disabled ad accounts. It's a great thing to do if you have the ability. And then once again, as I mentioned, you can add admins right here, but you can also do it in that People's tab as we discussed. So if you are planning on becoming an advertising agency, when other businesses want you to run their ads, they will actually request you to manage their account, and you will find that here in this tab. So if you're an agency or you're preparing to be an agency and you're about to work with a client and they say, hey, I sent you a request to grant you access, you can come here to this request tab and boom, it'll be sitting there waiting for you. Notifications. So here's where you can handle all of those emails, those pesky emails, the ones that kind of get annoying where, hey, your ad spent this today. Hey, someone liked your ad. Hey, it's a little overwhelming if you don't modify these. So I would recommend, if you prefer less amount of notifications or more, modifying your settings accordingly. You can see mine here. So business permissions, I have on. Business roles, I want to know when someone leaves or joins my business. Settings, when anything's changed, I want to know. When support, when they rarely contact us, does do it, I want to know. I don't want to know periodic emails from Facebook with information about advertising features, etc., etc. The reason being is if you've ever spoken with a marketing expert, you probably know a lot more than them. And if you're in this Ponder Facebook advertising course, I know you know a lot more than a Facebook marketing expert. So I personally don't want to get blown up with those constant daily emails. Partner program updates, not really too interested in that. Newsletters, same thing. Events, no. And this is where you can kind of modify it on a specific basis. Do you want to see who liked your page? Do you want to see who left a review? You can leave it on. And then I leave all of the rest on because those are pretty important issues encountered in product catalogs. I want to know if something's going to break. I don't want to know about the newsletters. So this is how I do my notification settings. Finally, let's come down to business info. So here we have the outline of your business information. We're down here on this business info page. So what you can see is your business manager ID. Once again, if you're an agency and a client says, hey, what's your business manager ID so I can add you? You can come here, copy and paste this, and they will request to grant you access. As I mentioned, I don't have a verified email or business phone number yet for this backup account. But for my main one, I do. As soon as I do have the legal information, I'll fill this in and I'll see this become verified. And when you're verified, you also get some access to a couple more Facebook products, such as you can become an agency. You can access some early releases, some beta things. It's occasionally pretty neat stuff. So I do recommend becoming verified. They trust you more. So this is a big one. If you have multiple people managing your ad accounts, your business manager, and something goes wrong and you need to figure out where something went wrong and you want to know exactly who did what, you come to this page and you can click export. You're going to get a list with history and every user of every action they ever took on your business manager. Below that, you're going to see ad account creation limit. So when you first create it, you're going to see 1. As soon as you have ran your ad account for a certain period of time, Facebook doesn't specify, but ran it for a certain period of time without breaking policy, you're going to see this number become 2. Then once you've run 2 without breaking policy, you're going to see it become 3, 4, 5. And I don't exactly know what the maximum is because they're always changing it, but I know that personally I have 5 actual ad accounts that I own under my other business manager. And it was just over time by raising my ad account creation limit. Once again, the more they trust you, the more that Facebook enables you. 2-factor authentication enabled, and then my info. So I like to use Ponder Team. The reason being is it's easier for clients and whatnot to see, oh, Ponder, okay, they modified it because they know me and my business is Ponder, and that's how I do my name. But if you're just running a personal business, you can click edit. Obviously, it's probably going to be your name by default, but you can change it however you'd like. And then the email is not necessarily what you use to log in with Facebook, but where do you want to receive notifications? What do you want to use to access the additional features? Enter that email here. And then finally, see business notifications, toggle it on or toggle it off, and you're good to go. Finally, setup guide. So you don't need to dive into this now, but let's say that you let's say you have a business. I'm going to throw out a scenario here where you might want to use this right away. Let's say you own a business and you were using an agency to run your ads before deciding to take the plunge and run them yourself. I shouldn't say plunge, taking the investment to build those skills and crush it yourself. A lot of those agencies did something that I hear this situation a lot. They do something that's a little iffy. They create the ad account for you and they own it and they run your ads in the ad account that they own. What you can do is you can tell them, hey, I want ownership of my ad account, and you can hit claim ad account. So this will add an account if your business is going to control the campaigns and billing. You can hit claim, and then it will actually, once they hit approve, be transferred over to you. So if you have an ad account with someone else that you want ownership of, you can do that right here. Same with page, and you can request it here. And then finally, there's additional ways to add people to your account, but I still recommend doing it through users and then people. So you have just went through the main parts of the business manager. I know we didn't touch on these other breakdowns, pixels, ad accounts, because those are all in separate modules. Before going on, take some time, navigate around. For example, if I told you right now, go find your business manager ID. Do you know where to navigate? Pause this video and go find it because it's important to understand how to navigate the business manager. So how would I find it? I'd click business info and boom, it's right here, my business manager ID. So understanding, let me give you another, exercise. Go to the location that where you can add people and other users to your business manager and ad accounts. To do so, you'd come to users and you'd click people. Understanding how to navigate it is going to make the upcoming lessons substantially more fun because you're not going to have to deal with the frustration of figuring out where to click and whatnot. You can dive into the pure bliss of direct response marketing. So with that said, that is how to create your business manager. That's how to create the most vital aspect of really getting your Facebook advertising career started. This is going to manage your ad accounts, your pages, your pixels, your product catalogs, your media assets, your payment methods, so much more. So if you have any confusions about what you just did, rewatch this lesson. Do not move forward until you have pure clarity on what you built, what the structure looks like, and you are prepared to move forward. With that said, I'll see you in the next one. Talk soon.
Senator, we run ads.
Grab your computer, grab another cup of coffee because it is time to create your Facebook advertising account. Let's get started. Before we created your business manager, we went through the structure and really got a good understanding of what a business manager is, what it entails, what are the assets that it's apparent to, and so forth. Now, it's important to also understand what an ads manager is. So we're going to hop over to the whiteboard and break down what the structure of an ads manager looks like, what the ads manager responsibilities and duties are, and what you should be focusing on as we go into actually building yours out. Let's hop over there. In the previous lesson, we discussed the business manager and how you could have really any number of ad accounts underneath of it. So now that we've covered the business manager, we need to cover the ad account and the ads manager. So we're not focusing on this. We covered business manager. Let's jump into the actual ad account and ads manager. With every ad account, you're going to be performing one main task, which is running ads. So where the business manager manages the entire aspect of the business, the ad account, the ads manager manages all aspects of your actual advertisements. So within every ad account, there's really three main aspects that you are going to be performing. First, you're going to be creating campaigns. So with an ad account, you can create what is essentially defined as a marketing campaign. Every campaign has what is called ad sets. So just like the business manager is the parent to an ad account, ad accounts are the parents to campaigns, campaigns are the parents to ad sets, and ad sets are the parent to ads. So take a moment to really grasp that. Don't get overwhelmed. You're going to see how simple it is to really build this out in the ad account here in this lesson. We're going to touch base on that. But you really should just be focusing on understanding the structure. So while the business manager was managing ad accounts, pixels, pages, payment methods, the ad account is managing campaigns. That is really the only duty of the ad account, is to run ads with campaigns. When you create a campaign, you can have an infinite amount of ad sets. Actually, I believe it's limited to around 100, but that might change. So one campaign, let's change this to one campaign, can have X number of ad sets here. So let's actually break this out almost like we did with the business manager. So right here we have the single campaign. Then we can have ad set, let's call it ad set 1. We can have ad set 2. And it goes on and on. And then underneath of an ad set, you can have, let's say, ad 1, ad 2, ad 3, and so forth. Same with this, and same with these. So the campaigns are the parents of ad sets, which are the parents of ads. You're not limited to just one campaign in your ad account. You can actually have really an infinite amount of campaigns. I've never hit a maximum, and I've had ad accounts running hundreds and hundreds of campaigns. So let's start to map that out a bit more as well. So you could have another campaign. You could call this let's call this first one campaign 1, and then this one campaign number 2, and it's going to follow this same exact structure. So really focus on understanding what an ad account's duty is. An ad account's duty is to run campaigns. Campaigns' duties are to manage ad sets, and ad sets' duty is to manage ads. So what is a campaign? What are you going to be doing at this campaign level? At the campaign level, you're going to be doing things such as setting your budget, specifying dates and time ranges, and really preparing to manage your ad sets and ads. What are you going to be doing at the ad set level? You're going to be doing things such as targeting, including retargeting audiences, setting your conversion windows, and some other terminology which we're going to be breaking down in detail later on in the course. What's the ads purpose? Well, that's actually where you produce your creative. So that's where you take your images, your videos, your copy, your link to your website, and you combine that to create a single ad. So all of these different pieces work together underneath a single ad account. And as I mentioned, there's so many pieces to this. As I'm kind of explaining things, don't focus on what's an ad set do. It does targeting. What's an ad do? It builds the creative, because we're going to break those down in separate lessons in step-by-step detail. My main goal with this video and this whiteboard session here is to help you understand that an ad account manages campaigns, campaigns manage ad sets, and ad sets manage ads. So with that said, let's hop back over to your ad account. I'll take you through the process of getting it set up, and then I'll actually show you each one of these pieces as a high-level overview so you can understand the structure in preparation of the future lessons. Let's hop back over inside of the computer. Okay, go ahead, grab your computer and go to business.facebook.com/select. That's business.facebook.com/select. You're going to see the business managers that we created in the previous lesson. So go ahead and select whatever business manager is your main one. For this, I'm going to be using the Ponder V2 because, as I've mentioned, my main one has client accounts, proprietary information, and information that's under an NDA, which I do not want to risk accidentally showing. So we're going to be going into my Ponder V2 account. Once you click on your business manager, go to the left side navigation, and if this is changed at the point that if the layout's changed by the point that you're watching this video, all you need to look for is business settings. So click business settings. Okay, and now what we're going to do is navigate down to ad accounts. So if you look under accounts, you click the drop down and you click ad accounts, you are going to see any of your active ad accounts. If it's a brand new business manager, you're not going to see any here, and we're going to create your first ad account. So what you'll do is click add and then click create a new ad account. As you see, mine is locked because this is a brand new business manager, and brand new business managers can only have one ad account. As soon as that single ad account has run ads without violating policies for a certain given amount of time, Facebook will then enable you to create a second ad account, and then a third, and then a fourth, and then a fifth. If you already have an ad account created and you cannot create a new ad account, you will have to use the existing one until Facebook raises your limits. You could try to reach out to Facebook support and ask for another ad account to be added. The chances of that happening, though, are very, very unlikely. So if you already have an existing one, you can't create another one, you'll have to use that or go into your backup business manager and create the ad account there. So as I mentioned, I can't create it here, but let me show you what it would actually look like in my main one since I am able to create a new one there. Okay, so this is my main business manager, Ponder. So as I mentioned, in whatever business manager that you're in within right now, click add, then click create a new ad account. So here you can give your ad account a name. I'd recommend just making it the name of your business. So if I'm going with the example I was using before, this would be Maggie's Cupcakes. Select your time zone. This is actually very crucial that you select the time zone that you live within and work from, because later on in this course, you're going to be learning how to set automations that help you manage your ads, and they go off of the time zone that you select. So if there's a discrepancy between where you live and what you're expecting in terms of the automations to be triggered and run, it can cause a lot of confusion, a lot of issues that you don't want to deal with. So select your time zone. For me, it's GMT America/Chicago. All right, then go ahead and choose your currency, hit next, select my business. You're not going to, unless you're running ads for another business or client, but even then, I wouldn't recommend creating the ad account for them. I'd have them request access. Different topic, but choose my business. Once you do that, go ahead and click create. All right, so now you're going to see your ad account that you just created underneath of this ad account section. What you'll need to do is give yourself access. So go ahead and click add people. Select, you'll see your name from this list. For me, once again, I always use the name Ponder Team, as I just prefer that, but you're going to see your username. So select your name, then come down to manage ad account, hit assign. Okay, there we go. And now we are good to actually go into the ad account and navigate around. So how do we get there? Go ahead and click on this business tools dropdown and click ads manager. And here we are. We are now inside of your ad account where you are going to be running ads. If you've already added a payment method to your business manager, let me go ahead and show you how to connect that now before we navigate around this. Okay, first click business tools, click business settings, come down to payments, and you're going to see that payment method that you added in the previous lesson. So you'll see it says no ad accounts have been connected to this payment method. To connect an ad account to this payment method, please select an ad account and use Ads Manager to change its primary payment method. So go ahead and click this. All right, and now this is where a lot of people get confused. They're like, where is the payment, add a payment method button? What you'll need to do is come up to the upper right-hand corner, click the drop down and click View Payment Methods. This is gonna take us to the section where you can connect your ad account. So you'll see you need to add your tax information. You can go ahead and do that, enter your business information, whatever your tax info is. Obviously, I'm not going to enter mine here. But yes, go ahead, click add tax info and fill this information out. Very simple. Once you're done with that, you can then access your current payment methods. So what you'll see is this add payment information toggle box. If you click Business Manager Payment Method, that's where you can connect your credit card. So click this, hit Next. You're going to see the credit card that you entered, or debit card, and click Make Primary. All right, and then once again, it's asking me for my tax information. Enter it if you have not already, and then just go ahead and click Save on that. I will do that, once again, when I'm not recording my screen. All right, now I want you to take note of the amount due section. So it's going to say you'll be charged each time you spend $2, and also on the 31st of each month or on the last day of shorter months. So basically, right after you spend $2, you're going to see a credit card charge for $2. Then when you spend $4, you're going to see another $2, $6, etc. This will expand. Once again, Facebook does not trust new advertisers. Right now on my main account, I believe I'm up to about $2,000. So I only get charged each time I spend $2,000 or on the last day of the month. So that's why you're going to see a bunch of very minuscule charges as soon as you start advertising, and then it's going to expand. It's going to become $500, $1,000, $2,000 at a time. All right, cool. So we now have a payment method connected. Come back up to Business Tools and then go to Ads Manager. So this is where you're going to be creating the campaigns, creating the ad sets, and the creatives. What is important to understand in this Ads Manager section is, once again, just the basic structure and how to actually create a campaign, an ad set, and a creative. What I don't want you to focus on is how to actually set them up efficiently, optimization, creating your ads. I just want you to focus on the structure, because we're going to be breaking down all of the details on how to actually run them very profitably here in the upcoming lessons of the Ponder Facebook Advertising course. So let me show you what that structure that we broke down on the whiteboard looks like within the Ads Manager. What you're going to want to do is click Create. And then this is where you specify the campaign objective. So as I mentioned in the whiteboard, a campaign is responsible for the objective, for the budget, and a couple other smaller aspects. 99% of the time, what you're going to want to run is going to be a conversion campaign. We're going to touch on this further detail, but for the sake of this structure example, select conversions. Click this drop down. And one aspect I want to note is Facebook is constantly changing the user interface of the ads manager. They're trying to make it easy, simple, and essentially make it more efficient. So if this looks different, just remember the process is still the same. You're always going to be able, there's always going to be a create button on this page. I can click it here. Maybe in your version it's over here, but find the create button and click it. Go ahead, select conversions, click a drop down, and what you'll see is that structure we discussed: campaign, ad set, and ad. Campaign includes a campaign objective and budgets, the optimization of budgets. Ad set determines your audience, placements, schedule, and spending. And an ad contains all of the creative settings. So go ahead and name this example. Well, let's actually do this. Example campaign, example ad set, and example ad. Remember, we're not going to be running these. You don't want to start diving into actually trying to build these out without going on to the later lessons, because I'm going to teach you how to be very profitable with your ads. And if you start diving in now, you're going to get overwhelmed and not see the results you want. So enter that, hit continue. Okay, and now we can go through each one of these little pieces. So up here, you have the campaign name. Special ad categories are things such as credit cards or credit lines, employment, housing, social issues, elections, or politics. If you are not running those, you want to make sure it says no categories declared. Because if you select, for example, credit, you're going to be under very tight restrictions and limitations, and your ads aren't going to perform as they would if there was no limitations. So only select these if you are running these type of ads. If not, go ahead and select no categories declared. All right, so here we have campaign details. What you'll see is the only option for buying type is an auction. And as we discussed, Facebook ads is simply an online auction. So basically, what are we going to be doing? We're going to be bidding against other advertisers, competing against them for placements on potential customers' news feeds and inboxes and Instagrams and all over. All right, campaign objective. As we selected conversions, hey, go ahead and hit the show more options. You're going to see campaign spending limit. So this allows you to set an overall spending limit for your ad campaign. And this means that your ad sets in the campaign will stop once you've reached your spending limit. And if you're using a campaign lifetime budget, it's not applicable. We're not using a lifetime budget. I rarely use those, so don't worry about that. Leave this as is. A/B test. I'm going to show you a more efficient way to actually do split tests versus using their setup, but you can create an A/B test here. So split testing what works better than the other. I don't use this. I wouldn't recommend you use this at this time. Over time, they might improve it, but right now I have a better method for you that we'll discuss later on in the lessons. All right, and now the discussion of campaign budget optimization. Make sure I only use campaign budget optimization nowadays. So we'll touch once again on the different types of budget optimization in later lessons, but for the sake of this example, select on, and then what you'll see is you can set your daily budget here. So this is where you're actually going to set your budgets, and you can select daily or lifetime. Basically, a lifetime budget is you set it to spend $700. It might spend it in a week. It might spend it in 3 months. But once it spends it, it shuts itself off. I always use a daily budget, and we'll touch on why later on. Campaign bid strategies. Bid strategies are a relatively complex topic. We'll break those down later sections. For now, just know that you can change how you bid against the other advertisers. All right, and then ad scheduling. You can schedule your ads for specific hours and days of the week. Don't worry about it. Facebook's really good at optimizing it themselves. All right, so now let's go ahead and hit close. And just don't hit publish, just hit close. So we can see our example campaign here. And to access those settings I just showed you, you can click edit. And then you can access all of those once again. Go ahead and X out, hit close again. Okay, so now we have these tabs. We see campaigns, ad sets, and ads. So let's see what ad sets are inside of our example campaign. You can either do one of two things. You can select this checkbox and then click the tab, or you can just click on the name. And there we go. Now we see our ad set. So let's click edit and see what that looks like. Okay, so here we have some pretty neat options actually. We have conversion and then conversion event location. 99% of you are going to be using the website. Unless you actually have a mobile app, then you can do app or a messenger or WhatsApp, but 99% of the time it's going to be website. Then this is a spot where you can select your pixel. We're going to talk about how to set up your pixel here in the next lesson, but this is where you would select it. So for example, here's the one that I created, and you can choose your conversion event, for example, purchase. Once again, don't try to follow this setup. I'm just running you through all of the possibilities. We're going to actually set this up and get ads running in the next lessons. Dynamic creative. This is a pretty neat feature. You can select a bunch of different assets, and Facebook will build a creative for you in real time depending on what they think is going to work the best. You can create an offer for people to save. Here's where you set your schedule. So you can set a start date. Let's say I want to create some ads, but I don't want them to start until tomorrow at 4:48 a.m. If I set this right here, Facebook will turn it on at that time for me. Down here in audience is where we do our targeting. So we have custom audiences, locations, age ranges, genders, detailed targeting, which allows Facebook to expand it in hopes that they can drive more results. And then even languages. And now if we hit show more options, you can see different types of connections. Once again, I don't really use this connections, but it is a pretty intriguing feature, just showing how detailed you can really get with this. Now we have placements. So what is a placement? This is where Facebook will show your ads. So here we have feeds. So people's news feeds on Facebook or Instagram, stories, when you're looking at stories, in stream. So if someone's watching a video, you can play your ad in the video. Search, messages, in article, and then apps and other websites. Down here, we have optimization and delivery. So you're going to want to leave this on conversions 99% of the time. And then the one that's interesting is conversion window. So we'll talk about the difference that this makes later on, but we can actually change the amount of time that Facebook will look at our data to determine who they should be showing our ads to. All right, so that is an ad set. As you can see, this has a lot to do with the targeting and budgets and schedules and so forth. So let's go ahead and click X and hit close. Go ahead, and now let's enter your ad set. So you can see we have an example ad within our ad set, and now this tab has changed to ads. If you click edit, this is where you can select your Facebook page for your business, your Instagram account. Go ahead and choose preview on, and now we can create an ad. So you can choose from a single image or a video, a carousel, which is where you can create a format that people can swipe and view different images and text, or a collection where you swipe up and then you see a bunch of different products on the actual Facebook in-app. Here you can choose pictures, videos, you can create a slideshow, you can even create a video from pictures within Facebook. You can enter your primary text for your ad, so that's a text you see below where it says sponsored post and above the video. Then you can enter a headline, which is shown below the video, a description, which is below the headline, and then finally you enter your URL and select the button that you want to show people. For example, shop now. This is where you build the creative that people actually see. So all of those ads that you see on news feeds or stories, this is where you're going to be setting that up for your business. So as you see, this is the structure, the campaign, the ad set, and the ad. Go ahead and hit close. And as I mentioned, a campaign can have multiple ad sets. So let me show you what that looks like. Let's go ahead and click on example campaign. And we can click duplicate on this example ad set. Go ahead and hit original campaign. Now we can rename this to number 2. Let's just exit and close. And now you see that in our campaign, we have 2 ad sets, and each ad set has an ad. So you see the structure in the works in the actual ads manager. And in the coming lessons, we're going to be building out your real campaigns, your real ad sets, and your real creatives. But once again, this is just to get your ad account set up and understand what the structure I discussed on that whiteboard looks like within the actual Facebook advertising platform. Before leaving this lesson, please do this with me. Go ahead, explore, look into the structure, look into the different settings, see what's possible. But before you log out, select this campaign and click the trash icon and delete. You do not want to accidentally publish a campaign that is going to start spending $100 a day with nothing set up correctly. I've seen it happen. I've had it happen to myself, and it's not fun seeing a bill come through for $700 and there's no revenue and everything was incorrectly configured. Just delete it before you exit. And with that said, I'm going to see you in the next lesson where we are going to continue the setup of the Pixel and some other features in preparation for the actual direct response marketing phases. I'm so excited for you guys to get to the upcoming lessons. This setup phase is important. You want to understand how to navigate this platform. You want to understand what are Facebook ads and how do they work. You want to understand the structure of campaigns, ad sets, and ads, and how to modify things such as your payment methods, add people to your account, and so forth. Because when you dive into the marketing, knowing how to do these aspects is actually going to improve your performance, lower your frustration trying to navigate it, and ultimately make this a lot more fun. So I'll see you in the next lessons. Talk then. At this time, you have your business manager, your ad account / ads manager set up. But in order to accurately run ads and optimize ads, Facebook needs to collect data. So how does Facebook collect data based on actions that we're taking off of the Facebook application and network of sites? Well, they use what's called a pixel. The Facebook pixel is what allows Facebook to track user engagement, actions, checkouts, etc. off of their platform. So what is the pixel? Well, the pixel is simply a piece of JavaScript code that is put onto your web pages that loads when a specific action is taken. Luckily, if you use Shopify or WordPress or any of the really majority of e-commerce and website builders, they have an easy integration to quickly set up your pixel so you don't have to touch any code whatsoever. As I said, the Facebook pixel, a piece of code for your website that lets you measure, optimize, and build audiences for your ad campaigns. So measure cross-device conversions. For example, without a pixel, how would Facebook know that maybe someone started checking out on their computer but finished the checkout on their phone? They wouldn't be able to do that without the pixel. So with the pixel, you can measure someone that checks out or starts a checkout on one device and finishes the purchase on a different one. Optimize delivery to people likely to take action. As Facebook collects data on your potential customer base, they're then able to utilize that data to show your ads to people that are more likely to purchase than not. The more data that you can give Facebook, the better. The pixel enables this. Create custom audiences from website visitors. When we get to the lessons that discuss retargeting, we're going to be utilizing the data from the pixel to break out this bulk audience into separate ones. For example, we might want to target people that viewed a specific product or added a specific product to cart or purchased something in the last 7 days. We can do all of that because of the pixel. This also enables us, the pixel also enables us to create dynamic ads. One really cool feature about Facebook is they can take different pieces of media. For example, they can take a different image or video, combine it with different text, and show it to a customer because they know that they viewed a specific product from the data on the pixel. And then finally, learn about your website traffic. You can get demographic breakdown, audience breakdowns, understand what website pages people visited, what website pages people left or bounced on, and really break it down. How the Facebook pixel works? Well, as I mentioned, when someone visits your website and then takes an action, for example, the example here, buying something, or even viewing a piece of content or clicking the add to cart button, the Facebook pixel is triggered and reports this action back to Facebook. This way, you know when a customer took an action after seeing your Facebook ad, and you'll also be able to reach that customer again by using the custom audience, which we're going to discuss how to do in a later lesson. When more and more conversions happen on your website, Facebook gets better at delivering your ad to people who are more likely to take certain actions, and that's called conversion optimization. The pixel is extremely vital. You cannot run ads without a pixel. Otherwise, you're going to waste a ton of money because you're not going to know what results were driven from what ads, and Facebook isn't going to correctly optimize. So you need to set up the Facebook pixel. And here they have some information on how to set it up. I'm going to cover and show you how to actually create your pixel in the ads manager, or I should say in the business manager on Shopify, and then how it's configured. So let's hop over to the business manager. Here we are on business.facebook.com/select. Go ahead and select the business manager that you're going to be using, that you just created your new ad account underneath. What you want to do now is click on business settings. Once this loads, scroll down to data sources, and then you're going to see pixels. So go ahead and click this, and if it's a new business manager, you're not going to have anything here. If you are on Shopify, do not create the pixel here yet. If you're not on Shopify, go ahead and hit add, enter in the name of your business. So for example, the one that I've been using was Maggie's Cupcakes, and I'll leave Maggie's Cupcakes pixel, and then enter in the URL. Go ahead and hit continue. And what you want to do now is click set the pixel up now. So let me show you how to do this with what's called a partner integration. If you use any one of these services to host your website or your store, click on it and it's going to teach you exactly what to do. For example, this is Webflow. So if I'm using Webflow, it's actually going to show you step-by-step how to set it up, and it's the same for each one of these. So if yours has a partner integration, use it it's very easy. It will step-by-step instruct you on how to do it. Once again, if you have Shopify, don't follow this just yet because they implemented a new way to do it. I'm going to show you here in a second. If you don't have any of those, you can click on the manual setup. So if you clicked on the partner integration, you exit out like I did, let me show you how to get back in here. So go click on your pixel, hit open in Events Manager, and then you can click continue pixel setup, and then choose manually add. So if you're on an old school website builder, you are going to have to add this yourself. Once again, you can just hit copy code. It's going to copy this and then paste it into the header of your website. If you're not technical, I wouldn't recommend doing this on your own. Reach out to the support. Find the support of whatever host you use and ask them to help you set up your Facebook pixel. And you can just say, here's the code. You can copy it and give it to them there. You'll hit continue, and you want to make sure you turn on automatic advanced matching. All right, great. So let me show you how to actually do this on Shopify. If you are using Shopify, go ahead and go to your Shopify admin dashboard. Underneath sales channels is where you want to look. So if you don't see Facebook, do the following. Click the plus button. You're going to see Facebook right here and click plus. When you click add, you can then see Facebook in your sales channels. Click on Facebook. And now what you want to do is you want to click on settings. So now mine is already connected, but for you, you're going to be able to follow a very simple step-by-step process. It's going to say connect your Facebook account underneath this. Go ahead and click connect. It's going to have you sign into your account. Make sure you sign into the one that you created your business manager on. Once you sign in, come underneath business manager, click connect, select your main business manager that your ad account is underneath. Then go to Facebook page and select your business's Facebook page. At this point, you can then go to marketing settings. Once you're on marketing settings, underneath ad account, select connect and choose the ad account that we built in the previous module. And once again, just pause this video and follow along in real time. Don't worry too much about the Facebook target country because we're not going to ever run ads from this. We just want to build our pixel here. Once your ad account is connected, you can click on commerce settings. This is not going to be shown until you actually have a Shopify store with running products and so forth. If your Shopify store is already running, go ahead and just connect your commerce account. What this is going to allow you to do is actually put your products on Instagram for sale and in the Facebook shop. Personally, it's not a huge source of income or revenue in my main businesses right now, but you can get it set up right here. It's very simple. Finally, Do not skip this last part. Click data sharing settings. So this is where the pixel is actually created. And depending on how much customer data sharing you enable is going to determine how much data you share with Facebook. So if you scroll down, make sure to turn enable customer data sharing. If you have this off, your pixel is not going to receive much data and it's not going to be able to run efficiently. You want to choose maximum level of data sharing. Let me show you what the difference is. So if you look at standard uses the Facebook Pixel third-party cookie and shares customers' browsing behavior on your online store. Browser-based ad blockers can prevent the pixel from collecting data. This is bad. If Facebook can't collect data on actions taken, it can't optimize and you can't build remarketing audiences. Let's click on enhanced. Enhanced uses advanced matching, which shares personal information about your customers, including name, location, email, and phone number. This pixel also shares customer browsing behavior on your online store. Browser-based ad blockers can prevent the pixel from collecting data. Not good. So how can Facebook avoid browser-based ad blockers blocking the data being collected? Well, they just released something called the Conversions API. So let's go ahead and click on Maximum. Maximum combines all data sharing options to reach the highest amount of customers. It uses the Conversions API, which shares data directly from Shopify servers to Facebook. This means that data can't be blocked by ad blockers. When you are using only the pixel is fired in their web browser. Unfortunately, this means that the web browser can stop certain things from happening. But with the Conversions API, when someone checks out, the server, and if you're not technical, don't worry, it's not important to know this stuff, but I do want to give you all a breakdown of it. When you're using the Conversions API, the server, which is what hosts your Shopify store or your website, takes the data and sends it back to Facebook. This means it's not sent through the browser, it's sent through your own server. The browser cannot block this, and Facebook can receive all of the data that it needs. So make sure to choose maximum. And then behavior will be tracked with this pixel. If you don't see this, click create, and then select confirm. And now, after you do that, let's go back to the business manager on Facebook. Once you're back in your business manager, make sure you go to data sources, then pixels, and give it a refresh. When you give it a refresh, you're going to see the pixel that was just created in your Shopify here and available for use. As you saw in my Shopify account, my pixel was created and it's called PRFD for Purified, which is my brand name. Okay, at this point, now you need to connect your ad account to the pixel. So first, we need to add access to yourself. So choose people, hit add people, and now choose both of these. So you want to choose your name and Shopify system user for resource management. Select both of them and choose manage pixel. All right, that is great. Now, what we want to do is come over to connected assets. So let me show you what this looks like. You're not going to have anything here. And so these are all of the assets that the pixel is available to. We need to add your ad account. So click add assets. And now you're going to see that ad account that we created in the previous lesson. Hit add. That is all you need to do. And now your website is going to be collecting customer data, visitor data, and sending it back to your ad account for you to use for your business's benefit. It can be complicated thinking about how everything just worked and how everything's connected. It's not that important to understand those details unless you're technical and you enjoy those details like myself, because at this point, everything's connected and now we're going to be receiving data. And I want to show you how to actually ensure that your pixel is working. So select your pixel and then come up to Open Events Manager. Let it load. And now you're going to see all of those pixels that you have here. We have the one that I created in Shopify. Make sure it's selected. And what you'll see is events. Over time, this is going to be populated with a lot more events. It's going to show page view, view content, add to cart, initiated checkout, and purchase. It's also going to show events that were fired over the specific amount of time. So since my website isn't live at this time, this pixel, the one that the pixel's on, isn't live. As you can see, it hasn't been received for about 8 days now. So if you don't see an event right away, it's not a big deal. It's just because the pixel hasn't been fired. But let's do something. Let's click on test events. All right, and now what you want to do is go ahead and enter in your website URL. So this is my Shopify preview. Let me go ahead and click open website. I don't honestly remember what my password was for this. You know what? If it doesn't load, not a big deal. Yeah, okay, let's see if it's still fired, if we got lucky there. So, okay, so since mine's in preview mode, it didn't fire, but if you go to your website, you should see it fire. And actually, let me figure out what the password is so I can show you. Okay, so I figured out the password, and this is my unfinished version of my website. So this is still work in progress, but I entered in the URL, it loaded, and now let's go back to the test events and see if my pixel is working. So when we go back, check that out. There we go. Now it shows a page view was processed. It shows it was received from my browser. It shows it was connected through the partner integration and the time that it was received. Let's try another event and see what happens. So let's go back to this and let's go click on a product and hit add to cart. Look at that. All the events in real time are being sent back to Facebook. Add to cart, page view, view content. And this is how we're going to collect data on everyone that sees our ad, visits our website, and then we can use that data to generate sales, generate leads, or whatever your objective is. So make sure you're seeing events being fired. If you're not, redo the setup process. Make sure everything's configured properly. There we go. And we will continue to move forward from here. So this is your pixel. It's set up. It's connected to your website, connected to your ad account. We're ready to rock and roll. So excited for you guys to get into these next upcoming lessons because we're going to start building out your marketing campaigns and get those going. I'll see you in the next lesson. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how I work backwards. You've probably heard of the saying, hindsight's 20/20, and the same principle applies here. So you're going to learn how to work backwards, and once you understand that concept, then I'm also going to reveal to you why I truly believe that the traditional marketing funnel is dead in this modern era of digital advertising. So with that said, Zayed, go ahead and play the intro. First up is how to work backwards. So at some point in your life, you've probably made a decision, and maybe down the road you come to look back on it and you're like, man, I wish I would have did it differently knowing what I know now. Or maybe you did everything right and you're like, wow, I truly did everything correct in making that decision or taking that action. What I've learned, a mistake that I frequently made when I first got into e-commerce and advertising is I would have an end goal being like, I wanted to start a business, or I wanted to be able to quit my job and make full-time income off of a business. So that would be my goal that I had defined. And then I would just start building. I would just start creating a product. I'd try to find a product. I'd choose a price for it. I'd launch ads for it, and it would fail. And what I came to realize is that I didn't correctly plan out the path, the journey that I would need to take to achieve that end goal, being a profitable business or quitting my job. What I do now has saved me so much time and so much money on wasted projects because I work backwards. So let me give you a couple scenarios. And once you understand this concept, you can start to apply it to really anything in life, and it is phenomenal. So let me run through a scenario here, kind of playing off of the example I gave. So let's say that I want to create a business that generates $1 million in revenue. So let's pretend I don't have a business yet. I don't even have a product yet. I have nothing yet. But I know I have a goal that I want to generate $1 million in revenue with a business. So previously, as I mentioned, what I would do is so I need to find a product first. After I find a product, what I need to do is I'll create my website. Then I will run Facebook ads, and that'll send the traffic, and I'll just continue to scale them, right? So this is what a path would look like. But here's the issue, is this is so undefined. This doesn't give me any specific instructions on how to achieve it. finding a product, creating a website, running Facebook ads. But what happens when one of these pieces goes wrong? And also, what type of product do I need? Do I have to optimize my website? Do I need funnels? Do I need upsells? What's my profitability numbers? Run Facebook ads. How much an ad spend? What are my margins? What are my targets? There's so many undefined pieces here. So let me show you how working backwards actually gives us a very, very clear path of the exact business and product we need to build. So to achieve $1 million in revenue, I need orders, right? Because without orders, there's not going to be revenue coming in. But how many orders? So this is a decision that I would need to make right here. Do I want to have to sell? Do I want to have to acquire 1,000 orders to achieve $1 million in revenue? 100,000 orders? 100,000 orders is a lot of orders and a lot of customer support and so forth. Let's say that I want to be able to make $1 million in revenue off of 500 orders. So 500 orders. So now I know exactly how many orders I'll need to make $1 million. So 500 orders. And now, in order to make $1 million off 500, I need to price a product. So I'm going to do a bit of math. So 1 million divided by 500. So that's $2,000. So now, $2,000 product. I know that I need a product of a value of $2,000. For more of an e-commerce example, let's say that I'd be fine making $1 million with 10,000 orders. What you'll see is this once again defines the cost that I need to price a product at. So 1 million divided by 10,000. $100. So now I know I need a $100 product. Okay, so I know I need a $100 product. And then this, you can see, now I can go ahead and I know I need to source the product, right? So in order to have a $100 product, I need to source it, so forth. So what you can see is that by defining the end goal and then working backwards, I was able then to price a product. From this point, I can find industries and niches that have products priced in this range. And you can get detailed, such as like, well, I want to be able to spend up to $50 to acquire a customer and remain profitable. So here, if I state that, then I also know that, okay, well, my product margin is going to have to be, my product cost is going to have to be less than, let's call it $25. So by working backwards in any situation, you can really define exactly what needs to happen. So this is like a broad e-com example, but if you haven't started a business yet, define your end goal and start to work backwards. How many orders do you want to have to acquire to generate your end goal? Okay, well, you state that. Now you know how you need to price your product. Okay, state that. Then you can state how much you want to be able to spend to acquire a customer and remain profitable. Now you understand the margins you need to have. And you can really, really get granular. So let me show you an advertising example of how well this works. So now let's do an advertising example. So what I want you to do is list your objective. So for me, I'm going to state my objective is a purchase. I want to acquire a purchase with Facebook ads. So now let's break this down and get very, very detailed with it. So what happens right before a purchase? What action needs to be taken in order for a purchase to come next? Well, we need that person to add their payment info, their credit card, so forth, in order to complete a purchase. All right. So now we need, let's see. So what needs to happen before they can add their payment info? Let me just drag this over a little bit. Well, in order to add their payment info, they need to initiate a checkout. So they need to start checking out first. There we go. So in order to initiate a checkout, what needs to happen? They need to add to cart. You can kind of see how this is working. We're just detailing the exact process. So what needs to happen before they add to cart? They need to view product page. All right. What needs to happen before they can view the product page? They need to visit the website. What needs to happen before they visit the website? Well, they need to click our ad. What needs to happen before they click our ad? They need to engage with the ad. All right. What needs to happen for them to engage with the ad? They need to stop scrolling. So here we now have the exact path of a customer, step by step of what they would do from the moment that they stop scrolling all the way to completing a purchase. And now watch the power of this from an advertising perspective. What you're going to see once you launch ads, or maybe you've already launched ads, is there's drop-off rates between each one of these. So for example, someone that adds to cart, there's usually on average a 25% drop-off from add to cart to initiate checkout. And since we understand each one of these potential areas of failure, areas of blocking the end result of a purchase, we can start to list out the reasons for that. So, for example, why would someone add to cart and not start to initiate a checkout? Well, let's detail that right here. Maybe it was the product price. Maybe they saw the total price in their cart. It threw them off. Shipping cost. Well, no, that would be initiated. Checkout. Taxes. So you can see taxes in the cart. Maybe they have concerns about the warranty, or they just aren't truly sold on the benefits. So they don't really know the benefits yet, as they should, well enough to convince them to complete the purchase. So here, now we know why people might drop off from add to cart to initiate checkout. Why might someone view the product page and not start to add to cart? Well, it's really kind of the same reasons as this right here. So we can actually use this like that. So now we know the blockers, the consumer objections, the buyer objections that someone might have, preventing them from taking the next step. Let's go down to here. What must someone, well, we can take this further actually. Why might someone, so for us, what needs to happen before they stop scrolling? Well, we need to, there's a lot of pieces, launch the ad, whatever, so forth, but we're just going to put win placement auction. So on Facebook, we need to, as an advertiser, bid, win the placement, and our ad gets placed on their newsfeed. Why might someone not stop scrolling? Well, maybe bad thumbnail, non-aligned targeting, it's not the right demographic, and so forth. So you can list all those out here. So now we know that we need to focus on creating a great thumbnail, ensuring our targeting, so forth, testing, and whatnot. And it's kind of the same for engage, right? Even if they stop scrolling, they might not engage. So we got to work on benefits. But if you go through and list out every reason that might stop someone from buying in between the next action, you're going to be able to break this down. So let me just add one more. So we'll do, what might stop someone from this last step where they start to add their payment info and then purchase? Or actually, let's do it from right here. So what might stop someone from that initiated checkout from actually adding their payment info? Well, maybe you only allow credit cards, but they want to use a different payment processor. So don't have their preferred payment processor, concerned over quality, concerned over security of the website, the payment form, so forth. So as an advertiser with custom audiences, which if you've never worked with custom audiences, we'll be teaching that here in the upcoming lessons. But basically what a custom audience is Facebook takes the data that they have on a user. For example, if someone comes to your website and adds to cart, you can actually create a custom audience, a custom group of people that have added to cart on your website. And so since we know they added to cart and we know that they haven't initiated a checkout, and we also know, for the most part, the reasons why, we can then create ads. We can now create ads that break down buyer objection. So maybe for price, we run an ad that offers maybe like a 10% off. Or for taxes, we could also offer a discount on the main price to kind of cut that down. A warranty. We run an ad that states we have 90-day money-back guarantee. Benefits. We run an ad that shows a different marketing angle than we previously did. Or we run an ad that hones in on the main benefit versus like the broad benefits. What we can do as advertisers is break down these buyer objections in order to get them to the next part. So in reality, this is simply a marketing funnel. This is the customer journey that from start to finish to achieve the end goal. And by working backwards, you can see we very clearly defined every step that someone would take. And now if we spend the time to list out why they might not take the next step, we know what to break down with our advertising. As a Facebook advertiser, your goal is simply to break down buyer objection. That's all marketing is. First, introduce them to the product or service, build that relationship. And from that point, it's all about breaking down buyer objection. Think about the last time you were considering buying something and think about what phase did you drop off. And now imagine if that company would have advertised to you and broke down that objection you had and provided a solution to it. You would have ended up making the purchase. And so this is really what highly successful advertising is made up of. And by working backwards, you can define exactly what you need to do to achieve your end goal of a purchase, a lead, or whatever it might be. So learn to work backwards. You can apply it in advertising, outside of advertising. I use it to, you're going to see one of the upcoming lessons here, how I used it to essentially build out an entire brand scope in a matter of 60 minutes or so. It is extremely powerful. So learn to work backwards. You're going to have a lot of clarity moving forward, and it's going to make you a very, very effective advertiser. So that is how to work backwards. Now that you kind of understand the concept of that, I want to jump into why I believe that the traditional marketing funnel is dead when it comes to Facebook advertising. And there's really two reasons here. So reason one is when we, in the previous lessons, talked about Facebook Power 5 and all of the recommendations from Facebook to feed the algorithm, especially with iOS 14.5 and the lack of data, it's all about feeding the algorithm, automatic placements, and so forth. The issue with the traditional marketing funnel is it does not align with these recommendations by Facebook. The traditional marketing funnel is broken down, we'll just say is very granular. By granular, I mean it's very piece by piece, broken out into as small audience as possible. So let's take a look at this reason with more of a visual manner. So you've probably seen what the traditional marketing funnel looks like at some point. So there's really, it's made up of 4 phases. So we have phase 1 up here, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. Let me label these. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And the traditional marketing funnel has been around since, 1950s, and it worked really well up until about 2019 in regards to Facebook ads. And then the world of advertising really started changing. And in the past year, with the new Apple updates and the lack of data, it has changed substantially. So in each one of these phases, you would have cold traffic. So phase 1 is really the awareness phase. It's going to be made up of people that have never heard of your product, your brand, or your service. Phase 2 is warm. So these are people that have seen an ad, they've maybe heard of your brand, but they haven't visited the website, they've taken no action. Phase 3 is your hot traffic. These are people that added to cart, initiated a checkout, so forth. And then finally, phase 4 is existing. So this is going to be people that purchased, existing leads, people that have already taken your desired objective, already completed that final action. Here's where the issue arises. With cold traffic, there really isn't a main issue on Facebook. So I'm going to label this Facebook. On Facebook for cold traffic, you're going to be using interests, lookalikes, broad targeting. And the issue doesn't really occur here in this phase of the traditional marketing funnel. But what you'll see starts to happen is as we get down into the funnel, so warm traffic, you're going to be breaking out your audiences as follows. You might do 50% video viewers, so people that watch 50% of your video, maybe 75% video viewers, 95% video viewers, Facebook engaged, Instagram engaged, clicked an ad, so forth. So you can see we start to get very detailed and very granular with the audiences in each phase. So each one of these is a completely separate audience. When we get down to hot traffic, this issue becomes even more prevalent. We have view content, page view, add to cart 7 days, add to cart 21 days. View content 7 days, view content 21 days, page view, so forth. Initiate checkouts 1 day, initiate checkout 7 days, initiated checkout in the last 21 days, payment info 7 days. You can see we start to break these out into all of these separate audiences, which, think about the Power 5. Broad audiences, let Facebook really do the targeting and optimization of the creative for you, and all of this goes against it. The other problem with this that really occurred after the new iOS tracking blocking update is these audiences are a lot less reliable. So someone might come to your website, they might view content or add to cart in the last 21 days, but maybe Facebook doesn't track it. And so now you aren't going to actually be targeting someone that took this action. Whereas if you gave Facebook more control, more broad targeting with a funnel, they might be able to really identify that, do what they call aggregated event measurement, and still identify that person. If this is if you're getting a bit confused with all of this, don't worry. We are going to dive into how to implement funnels and so forth in your ad account. But the main takeaway that I want you to grasp from this before this next lesson is that reason number one is the traditional marketing funnel is very granular. Previously, if you were to implement this into Facebook ads, each one of these would be a separate ad set. You'd be breaking it out into different campaigns. And it goes against all of Facebook's recommendations now. So it does not align with Facebook ads. Reason number two that I believe this is the traditional marketing funnel is dead in this modern era of advertising is because it's overly complicated. This requires way too much time to manage at scale. So when I sat down with my team and we decided that we want to develop our own strategy that simplifies the management process so we don't spend hours managing accounts, more like minutes every week, along with driving better results and feeding the Facebook algorithm, we decided that we got to just completely redo what is known as a marketing funnel. And so here in this next lesson, you're going to see how we void this. What we do is we use what is referred to in the rest of the course is the Ponder Diamond, aka a non-linear marketing funnel. So that way, when customers come in from this cold traffic, we take them through a journey that never fully ends. And along this journey, we're following Facebook's recommendations for top results. So by doing this, we simplify our account structure, saving us time, saving us money, and generating more results. If you're more of an advanced advertiser, this probably made sense to you. If you're a beginner and you didn't really know what an advertising funnel is, maybe you don't know what ad sets are, don't worry about it. Come back to this lesson after going deeper into the course, and it's going to make a lot more sense, and you're likely going to be pretty amazed at how much time you're going to save with our new strategy, the Ponder Diamond. So with that said, this is how to work backwards and why we believe the traditional marketing funnel is not the way to go in today's era of Facebook ads. I'll see you in the next lesson. Get ready because you're going to learn the Ponder Diamond. In this lesson, we're going to go ahead and build the Ponder Diamond in your Facebook ad account. So first step is open up your Facebook ad account and let's begin. So we're going to go in the order that it was presented in the previous lesson. We're going to build the Ponder Diamond HQ, which is where all of your creatives are going to be stored. We're going to build the Ponder Diamond Formation, which is going to make up cold traffic. And then we're going to build the Ponder Diamond Stability Zone, which is going to be made up of retargeting traffic. So with that said, let's go ahead and kick this off. So what I like to do is actually build the structure of the Ponder Diamond. That way, once our creatives are produced, which we'll do in later lessons here, we can then take those creatives and simply drop them into our campaigns and everything will begin running. But by building the structure, in my opinion, it's more efficient, more timely, and it just kind of reinforces the practice of building out the Ponder Diamond in your ad account. So let's go ahead and knock this out. So first of all, we're going to start by building out the Ponder HQ. So we'll hit create. We'll do a conversion campaign. So remember, this campaign is never going to run, but I still mimic the settings of the other campaigns just for good practice, and also ensuring that anytime that we duplicate an ad over to one of the other campaigns, everything stays consistent. So go ahead, select conversions, and then let's name this Ponder Diamond HQ. All right. And then we're going to create an ad set. So the way that I break this up is I have images, I have videos, and then I have things such as dynamic ads or carousels. So that's how we're actually going to structure the ad set. So first, we're going to create the image ad set, which is going to hold all of your future image creatives, then the videos, and so forth. So let's go ahead and create images. So here you can just type images, and then click skip ad, because we're not actually creating any ads at this time. So we'll hit continue here. All right, go ahead and take a look through here. I'm going to turn on campaign budget optimization. Remember, this isn't going to run, but once again, I'm just following it so that way everything stays consistent across the entire ad account. So we can leave everything else on this section right here, then come up to images. So here you're going to want to select the pixel that we set up in the previous lessons. So purchase, if your intention is to acquire leads, go ahead and select leads. All right. And then we can leave everything else as is. Remember, this isn't going to run, so these settings don't really make a big difference. And we'll come down here to publish. So one thing that I want you to do right away, though, is turn off this campaign. Remember, it's not going to run. And one of the worst mistakes that I've made is I was building out one of these Diamond HQs, and I accidentally had left the budget of $100 on it and didn't turn it off, and I ended up spending a bunch of money. No results because it wasn't configured correctly and so forth. So right from the get-go, just make sure to turn it off so you don't make that same mistake that I did. All right, so we have our Diamond HQ. We have one image or one ad set in here called images. And let me give this page a nice refresh just because sometimes Facebook gets all caught up. So here we go. So we have the Diamond HQ, then we have images. Now we need to create an ad set that's going to hold our video creatives. So let's just simply duplicate this. We'll do videos. There we go. And then you can publish that. Perfect. Okay, so go ahead and duplicate it one more time. And we're going to name this one carousel for any carousel ads that we create. Carousel. There we go. Now we can publish that. Okay, it was as simple as that. So we have the structure of our Diamond HQ built out. And so when we do produce creatives for our campaigns, if we make an image ad, we can just simply store it in here. And it becomes very, very easy to manage campaigns like this. Now that we have the Diamond HQ built, we're going to build out the Diamond Formation, which eventually will be the campaign for cold traffic. In this lesson, we're not going to worry about targeting or finding audiences and getting everything set up to run right away. We just want to build the structure. That way we have it built and it's ready to run later down the road. So let's hit create and we'll select conversions. Come down here to name your campaign. And in the campaign name, I'm going to put Ponder Diamond Formation. In this one, you can actually go ahead and skip the ad set, which will also skip the ad. The reason being is in the upcoming lessons, I'm going to teach you how to build an advertising story, target those individuals on Facebook, and align your creatives to your audiences. So we're not going to do any of this configuration here because we need to figure out what that's going to look like in the first place. So go ahead and skip your ad set. We just want the campaign structure here. So we'll turn on campaign budget optimization. Go ahead and just put in a budget right now. I'll talk about budgets as well in the upcoming lessons, but just put a placeholder budget that you have in mind. So there we go. Hit publish, give the page a refresh, and now you will see the Ponder Diamond formation if Facebook decides to load here. So I'll give it one more refresh. If you ever don't see something showing up on Facebook, try to refresh 2 to 3 times, and it usually does a trick for me. Okay, here we go. So we'll also turn this off for right now, just to make sure there's no chance of anything accidentally turning on. Let's see. Okay, let me give this a refresh because as you see, occasionally you do have these weird little bugs with Facebook. There we go. Okay. So now we have the Diamond HQ and Diamond formation. Now we need to build the Diamond stability zone, which is going to be the retargeting campaign. So we'll hit create, come to conversions. We'll go name this campaign Ponder Diamond Stability Zone. We can skip the ad set as well. We'll hit continue. We'll turn on campaign budget optimization, set a template budget. There we go. Leave everything else as is and hit publish. And then we want to give it a refresh. All right, here it is. And then we want to turn it off. Boom, there we go. So what my goal was in this lesson was first to just show you how to actually implement the knowledge that you gained from the previous lesson, the understanding of the Ponder Diamond. And I feel like it's very important to understand not only the concept behind the strategy, but also what it looks like in the ad account. So in this lesson, we just built the initial structure and the initial outline of the entire Ponder Diamond. With these 3 campaigns alone, we were able to generate $1.2 million in revenue in 60 days. And the best part about this campaign setup is it's very simple. It feeds Facebook's algorithms and it makes your life much easier versus managing a bunch of different budgets and campaigns. So moving forward, when we actually launch your ads, you're only going to have to manage 2 campaigns to find success with Facebook advertising. It's a great setup, and now you've successfully implemented the Ponder Diamond in your ad account. So let's go ahead and move into the next lessons where we're going to start building the content, the targeting, and so forth to actually implement here. I'll see you in the next lesson. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to build an advertising story. This is going to be the foundation for all of your marketing campaigns. It's going to make creating ads and copy extremely easy and time efficient. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into this. So I'm going to show you 2 methods I personally use to build my advertising stories. A big mistake that I used to make was I'd try to run Facebook ads and I'd invest money into Facebook ads without actually knowing who my target demographic were. And you might be thinking you know your target demographic, but do you know all of their problems, all of the other solutions they've tried? Anything that's blocking them from achieving their goals, their desires, their emotions. Knowing all of those are going to make you a very effective direct response advertiser. And I have 2 methods for you here. One will be using a tool called Miro, M-I-R-O. You can Google it. They have a free version, and you can follow along step by step here. And then the second one is called My Story Brand, which once again is a completely free tool. And I believe it was created by Donald Miller. So I want to give credit where credit is due. It is a phenomenal tool. So I'm going to show you these 2 methods. I personally use both of these methods before I start any campaign. Now I've done each of these 50 times now, and I recommend you do the same. You don't have to. You can do one or the other, but in no way do I recommend going into a Facebook ads campaign without doing one of these, at least one of these, preferably both, beforehand. So let's go ahead and start out with method number 1, which is Miro. So this board, this template here, I will share a link where you can actually open this up and copy it and then make edits on your own time. That way you don't have to build it out step by step. So when I zoom out here, you might feel like this looks extremely complicated, but it is actually very simple. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this step by step and show you how this entire mind map was built out. But first, I guess I should give you a bit of a teaser and show you what's possible. So let's say that I was advertising a solution for dog anxiety. So to put context behind this, we had our floors redone in our condo, and we had to live in a hotel. for a couple weeks in downtown Chicago, and our dog did not do well with it. The cars, the people, the noises. So we faced the problem of dog anxiety, and it made me wonder, could I actually build one of these out for a dog anxiety product? And what happened really surprised me and really proved, once again, that this is incredibly powerful. So once this is done, I just want to give you a sneak preview here. Watch this. Let's say that I want to run a Facebook ads campaign for a canine anxiety speaker. So it'd be a little speaker that you put near their crate that plays like classical music and helps them with loud noises and so forth. So if I wanted to create a campaign, I could then come in here and now watch this. I could say, is your environment, cars, bicycles, and people causing your dog to have anxiety? Is that anxiety resulting in destructive behavior or excessive barking? Maybe you've already tried some solutions such as training, anxiety medication, and pheromones, but what you realize is that it's not one size fits all. Well, here we have a new solution for you, a canine anxiety speaker. And then go into the breakdown. But see how easy it was? I literally just went step by step, and I was able to build a whole entire marketing angle that I could presumably use for a Facebook advertising campaign. Is your dog's stomach health causing anxiety, resulting in drooling, panting, aggression, so forth? Maybe you've already tried. So you can see, you can really piece these different angles together. And not only that, but now I understand the core causes of dog anxiety being the environment, separation, health. The niche causes being, if you're in separation, family member changing, the schedule of a dog changing, different guardian, environment, cars, people. So now I really have the details of what is causing anxiety. And so now this puts me in my potential customer's shoes. And then I understand the result of this problem: aggression, urinating, drooling, panting, destructive behavior, depression, excessive barking, pacing, restlessness, compulsive behavior. So I can get really detailed. And then I also know what are the likely solutions that my consumer has potentially tried. Well, here they are. What are those price points? What are the pros? What are the cons? I know everything about the, not everything, but I know a very good amount about this market just with this simple mind map. This took me, this specific one took me about an hour and a half to build. And you can actually watch me build this step by step in the coaching call replays where I talk about building a brand mind map. So if you want to watch that full breakdown with a live Q&A, there's students actually watching on the call asking questions. Go ahead and go to the coaching section of Ponder, the coaching vault, and you'll find this lesson there. But all you need to do is first identify the problem. And you might be wondering, well, what if my product doesn't have a problem? I can almost guarantee that it does. I've never found a product, a brand, or a service that doesn't solve a problem. And you might be thinking, like, what if I sell artwork? Well, what about people that are looking for art because their walls are bare, or they want something to inspire them, or they want something to impress their guests? Those are problems that artwork solves. There's always a reason that someone is buying a product or a service, and that's essentially what I define as the problem. So the first thing that you want to do is simply just state your problem here. And now we want to work backwards. So now we want to start by looking at the high-level causes. So if this was, let's say, like low energy levels. I'm just thinking of a product I have right next to me. So let's say that a problem is low energy levels. Well, what is a high-level cause of this? Lack of sleep, stress, anxiety, health. Well, so then you would put, so that's what you would do here. You would put health, bad sleep, stress, and then you would start to break down the niche causes. So let's get more specific. Maybe like gastritis, which is a stomach condition, or low, I don't know too many health ones to be honest, so we'll skip that one. But bad sleep, maybe it's loud noises outside, maybe your schedule changes, so forth. So you want to list out all of the niche reasons for these right here. So your niche causes. Once you do that, you'll then see how that all feeds into the effect, the problem. So maybe someone, if it's art, maybe they moved, maybe they went through a breakup. whatever it might be, it leads into the problem. After you list the problem, you want to list the symptoms. What are the symptoms of that effect? So here for the dog anxiety speaker, aggression, urinating, so forth, maybe if we did have the low energy levels, that would be bad grades, low work performance, relationship issues, so forth. So you want to list out what are the results, what are what's the symptoms of having this problem. Once you list out all of your symptoms, next what you want to do is start listing out existing solutions, because you want to find a way to differentiate your advertising story and your product and your service from your competitors. So you want to understand what are the solutions that people have most likely already tried. So here, training, anxiety medication, so forth. If we're still using the low energy level example, maybe they've tried like supplements. Maybe they tried energy drinks. Maybe they've tried a new pillow, whatever it might be. List out solutions. And now you want to break down those solutions into specific products. So like if I listed supplements, what I would do is I would go on to Google, go on to Amazon, and we'll just click this and actually open this up here. So for example, online dog training classes, and you just want to get an idea. You can click on the shopping tab of some of the products out there. You can tell that this is probably a good seller based on the amount of sheer reviews it has. So you can do some investigation. Just simply, we'll get into that one next, but simply just post it here. That way you can come back to this and quickly look. And then take some simple notes, some more high-level notes on the product details. So for example, what's your average online training class? It's about $100. And what you'll see is that any ones that have a red line at this level here mean it's a negative. So $100 being kind of expensive. You must be an expert to build this type of online training class product, so forth. So list out some details, some negatives, some pros that your consumers feel about these products. And the way that you can do that is, so pheromone collar. If we go to shopping, Amazon works wonderful for this too. But let's look at this one. So you can see 3-star reviews. Let's go read the reviews. Let's look at, where did it go? Here we are. Let's look at the 1-star reviews. I bought this thinking that it would help, didn't help. So go through and understand, just put yourself in the consumer's shoes. What are the downsides of this? What are the pros? What do people love about it? What do they don't like? And list that out for each product. And by doing this, you're going to have a full understanding of your consumer. You're going to have a bunch of various marketing angles that you can take. You're going to understand what's the typical way someone is advertising on Facebook. What are their marketing angles? That way you can differentiate. And by doing this, you're going to have a incredible understanding that other competitors advertising most likely don't have. So this is method number 1. And I absolutely love this method. It's a bit time consuming, hour and a half, 2 hours. Maybe for the first one you do, set aside 3 hours to do it. Do it over the course of 2 days. I don't recommend putting it off any longer because you get sidetracked and coming back to it. Just do it in preferably 1 sitting, but max 2 sittings, and knock this out. This is an amazing way to do it, and I do this for every single marketing campaign that's been highly successful in the past year now. So highly recommend doing this. So this is method number 1 with Miro. So let's go ahead and hop over to method number 2. So what you'll want to do is go to mystorybrand.com and create an account. When you create an account, you're going to have essentially a blank. So we'll just create this Ponder course. You're going to have a blank template just like this one. And what you're going to see is different, let's call them like notepads. So a character, a problem, meets a guide, who gives them a plan, so forth. And I actually have this book sitting right here. So this book is called Building a Story Brand. It's actually by the same guy, Donald Miller, the same guy that created this website. And I do highly recommend this. I think it's $11, and you'll be able to go through it. It's a quick read. And it's one of those reads where you can follow along step by step in correlation with this. So each chapter actually aligns with one of these sections right here. So if you don't have the book, you don't necessarily need it. I'm going to show you one of my examples, but I'll also put a link to this book on Amazon. So you're going to go through, and you're actually going to go through step by step. So you're going to define a character. You can see right here, it says, what do your customers want as it relates to your product or service? You're going to define the problem. Is there a root cause? So forth. So go through these step by step. Once again, this is probably going to also take you an hour and a half to do one, an hour if you're speeding through it. But once again, really take time to make sure this sounds perfect. So I'm going to show you the one that I built out for Ponder. And maybe you'll see that you do fit the character profile of the one that I built out for this Ponder software here as you are using the platform. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I built out for the advertising campaign for Ponder software. So my character, what does the ideal character of Ponder software want? What do they look like? Well, what do they want? They want to create successful Facebook ads in seconds. Create high performance Facebook ads in seconds. Facebook ads that work without the hard work. These are essentially slogans. These are like the one-liners that really define the brand. And once again, this book will teach you how to do that in a relatively easy way. But if you don't have the book, once again, you don't need it. You can just get an idea here. So another example would be, I think in the book, actually, let me go ahead and open up this chapter here. One of the examples in this book is for a financial advisor, and their character is a plan for your retirement. One other one is for a bookstore, a story to get lost in. What does the character want? Well, they want to get lost in a story to get lost in. And so it's really defining that slogan, that one-line mission statement that really resonates with your character. So here, maybe create successful Facebook ads in seconds aligns with you. Maybe that's what your whole goal with Ponder was. So let's go down to problems and take a look at some of the problems that you might face. So the villain, when it comes to Facebook advertising, in my opinion, is complexity. It is tough to navigate if you're a beginner. It's tough to understand data. It's complicated. And so what is, and if you delete, you can kind of see, what is a problem your customers deal with as it relates to your product or service? Inability to profit from Facebook ads. So the complications of Facebook ads results in an inability to profit and run profitable or successful Facebook advertising campaigns. So this part, how is this villain? So you're defining the villain as complexity. How does it make you feel? Discouraged. That was the one that I felt. I almost quit Facebook advertising so many different times before I really cracked that code. And I'm sure if you try to launch campaigns or get into Facebook ads without a guide, you probably felt this discouragement as well. So here's the philosophical. Why is it just plain wrong for your customers to be burdened by this problem? Well, I shouldn't have to be an expert in multiple professions to succeed with Facebook advertising. You shouldn't have to know copywriting. You shouldn't have to know creative design. You shouldn't have to know conversion rate optimization. You shouldn't have to know media buying. You shouldn't have to know bid strategy. You shouldn't have to be an expert in multiple professions. I shouldn't have to spend thousands of dollars to get the assets I need for Facebook ads. If you aren't expert in multiple professions, then you have to go hire someone to write the copy, to do the media buying, and you're going to end up spending thousands of dollars. So this is the philosophical angle that I defined here for Ponder. Next, empathy. So it meets a guide. So this was the empathy one. What brief statement can you make that expresses empathy and understanding? Like you, we are frustrated with the extensive time and capital it takes to run a successful Facebook advertising campaign. And then authority. So you want to demonstrate the exact reason that they should trust you and that you can guide them. So for us, we've 75,000 plus sales fostered for over 50 brands and 21 plus industries with Ponder Facebook advertising campaigns. So that's what we've done, and that really builds authority that we actually know what we're talking about. So here's the plan. On the homepage, you could actually see this if you go to Ponder's homepage, depending on if we updated it. But so the process: start a trial, describe your offer, being the product or brand, and then boom, Ponder will create successful Facebook ads in seconds. And our agreement. So agreement. List agreements you can make with your customers to alleviate their fears of doing business with you. So Ponder's promise is that we'll guide you step by step, we'll save you time and money, and we'll become your Facebook ad sidekick. Call to action, start trial, buy now, so forth. Simple one. Transitional. What transitional call to action will you use to on-ramp customers? So basically, if they're not ready to buy yet or sign up for your service, what will you give them that's a separate call to action? So for us, it was watch how, and then insert a brand name, transforms their Facebook ads in 60 seconds. So for this example, we worked with a brand and we actually did a live demo of how Ponder transformed their advertising in less than 60 seconds. So instead of a buy now, it was a watch now call to action. All right. So that ends in success. So this, I don't know if I can delete all these. So basically, what is the result of the guide and calling them to action? So smile and enjoy being the hero of your next Facebook advertising campaign with Ponder as your sidekick. Turn 5 days of work into 5 minutes of excitement as you watch Ponder do the hard work for you, so forth. Then we have that helps them avoid failure. Losing 100% of your investment in Facebook advertising. Looks like this was duplicated. Overpriced freelancers and agencies that don't care about your brand, being passed by competition, years of frustration, trying to become an expert in multiple professions. And then finally, the character transformation. So how is your customer feeling about themselves before they use the product? And then afterwards. So before Ponder, a lot of people felt confused and ill-equipped to really tackle Facebook ads. And then after, competent and prepared with an artillery of assets. So this is building a story brand. So the book, Building a Story Brand. This is my brand scripts. This is completely free to use. And this is, once again, incredibly powerful. Once you do this, you can actually just take this, use it for advertising campaigns, like use this as a headline, create successful Facebook ads in seconds. You can update your website with it. You understand your customers. So once again, it's really building that advertising story. The story of being confused and ill-equipped to run Facebook ads to becoming competent, prepared with an artillery of assets in 60 seconds. So that is method number 2. Both of these in tandem is extremely powerful. You're going to be way ahead of your competition if you do both of these, and I cannot recommend it enough. So this is building an advertising story. Once you complete this, then move on to the next lessons. Do not move on to the next lesson without doing these, because the next lessons are going to use these assets in correlation with Ponder to start producing some crazy Facebook ad creatives for your campaigns. I'll see you in the next lesson. Talk soon. Now that you have your advertising story assets created, it's time for me to show you how I create high converting Facebook advertising copy. When it comes to Facebook ads, in my opinion, the copy itself is the second most important aspect of a successful campaign, with the first being the creative, which we'll get into in a later lesson. Now that you have your advertising story assets in the form of the Miro board or the My Story brand, go ahead and pull those up and let's get right into it. For the last 7 months, longer depending on when you're watching this, I have not written a single line of copy for my most successful Facebook advertising campaigns. And you're probably thinking, oh, did you hire an agency or copywriters? Well, we did, but we hired a team of very expensive and very, very talented copywriters to actually train Ponder's AI copywriting models. So what I'm going to show you in this lesson is how you can take the advertising story assets that you created in the previous lesson, plug it into Ponder's AI, and it will write all of your copywriting for you in a very highly optimized and a high performance manner. So with that said, go ahead and open up the Miro board that you created or the My Story brand board that you created, preferably both, just so you have as many assets as possible. So what I want you to do is find the line that really acts as an elevator pitch for your brand. So what is an elevator pitch? Picture it like this. You're on an elevator with someone, a potential investor in your company, and you have less than 15 seconds to pitch them on your brand. So you have to figure out how to explain what your brand or your product is, what it does, and who it's for, and then why they should invest in it in a matter of 10 to 15 seconds. Basically 1 sentence. I want you to look at your storyboard and pick the key line or 2 lines in here that really summarize your elevator pitch. And if you don't find one, piece some together. For me, and for Ponder, it's create successful Facebook ads in seconds. That's if I was on an elevator and I had to pitch an investor, I would say we have AI tools that allow Facebook advertisers to create successful Facebook ads in seconds. That's basically how I would sum it up. So figure out what your elevator pitch is and go ahead and copy that. So I'm just going to copy mine right here. And I'm going to go back over to Ponder. So log into your Ponder account and come to Fusion. So Fusion is our AI copywriting tool that's going to write incredibly powerful copy for you in a matter of seconds. This is going to save you thousands of dollars. To hire an equivalent copywriting team to do this for you, it would be $4,000 to $5,000 per month. You're going to have this done for you in a matter of seconds. So check this out. Over here on the left-hand column, we have placement. So you'll see Facebook primary text, which is right above your ad. Then you have Facebook headline, which is right below the creative. And then below the headline is the Facebook link description. So we can actually create all of these different placements, save it to our account, and then that way when we go to launch our campaign here in the upcoming lessons, we can just copy it in and have it done for us. So here's how to use this tool. Go ahead and enter in your product or your brand name. So if you're debating whether you should use a specific product name or just the overall name of your brand, ask yourself what type of campaign you're going to run. Is it a broad campaign? For example, the campaign that I'm going to run here for Ponder is a broad brand campaign. I want people to learn about Ponder, to consider starting a trial or signing up. Whereas if I was specifically advertising the Fusion tool, I would say Ponder Fusion, because that's going to be what my campaign's based around. But I'm going broad. I want to encompass the entire ecosystem of Ponder in this campaign. So I'm just going to use the brand name here. Okay, next you're going to want to enter a product description or a brand description. Basically, this is where your elevator pitch goes. So within one sentence, how are you going to pitch the viewer on Facebook to potentially try your product, your brand, or your service? So here we'll paste in the advertising story asset, the elevator pitch that we grabbed. So create successful Facebook ads in seconds. And just to help the AI model really understand, we're going to say helps Facebook advertisers create successful Facebook ads in seconds. And then we can even add on to that. So AI tools that, and then remove plural from here. So AI tools that help Facebook advertisers create successful Facebook ads in seconds. So here's my elevator pitch. Perfect. Here, you're going to enter in your domain name. And maybe you're preparing for a website launch or a product launch and you don't have a domain yet. All you need to do is just simply enter in a hashtag here and it will validate it that way too. But if you do have a domain, I highly recommend doing it because it allows our AI to actually go scan the website, learn about your brand, and that way we can produce very highly effective and copy that represents your brand voice. Okay, so go ahead and hit create. Give it around 10 to 20 seconds on average, and the AI will actually go learn about your brand voice, and create some content for ads. So here we go. Let's check this out. We know that Facebook advertisers want to make money on their ads, and we also know that you're not a professional when it comes to creating successful Facebook ads. Regardless of your experience, Ponder can help. We use AI technology to help you optimize your ads, find the right audience for them, and show you how to create more clicks and generate more sales, so forth. Ponder is the first artificial intelligence ad technology that helps Facebook advertisers create successful Facebook ads in seconds. Ponder uses advanced algorithms to produce highly relevant ads, leading to higher conversion rates and more sales for you, so forth. So you can see phenomenal copy in a matter of seconds. And here's how you can make modifications on the go. So let's go ahead and take a look. Let's just say I want to format this variation a little bit more. So I want to add, let's add a line. So you can click in here and edit directly in here. So I'm going to do pointing down. So I want to do the pointing down emoji. Boom, there we go. That looks good. Regardless of your experience, Ponder can help. And then I'm going to put, I want to do handshake. All right. And then I'm just going to copy check. And then I want to just add a simple call to action here. So click, learn more to get started with Ponder today. All right, perfect. So now let's say that I'm extremely happy with this version of copy, but I'm not quite yet ready to implement it in my advertising campaign. So all I'll do is I'll click save, and then whenever you want to go access that again, and let's just save this one as well. I really like this one. You can click on saved items, and you're going to find all of the variations of copy and the format in the save section. So you can come in here and then you can click on this copy button, and you'll see when I paste now. So it copies all of the text. So that way you can click generate a ton of variations that you love, then just simply copy it, paste it in your ad account, you're good to go. You're gonna save hours and hours and thousands of dollars because you will no longer have to use a professional copywriter or learn how to do copywriting yourself. So let's go back over to the tool itself and let's create a problem solution format. So a problem solution is basically when the AI, let me think of an example here. So let's say I was advertising this iPhone. So a problem for a user would be not being able to contact friends and family. Obviously, that's an odd problem to have. Or actually, maybe this. Maybe you have a maybe you're trying to hang something on the wall and you don't have a drill. So the problem is, are you tired of being unable to hang art on your walls? Boom. The solution is the drill. Once again, random example, but I had this sitting on my desk. So let's go ahead and switch it up. I'm going to use Athletic Greens just to show the flexibility of this tool to create a problem solution ad. So for you can go back to your story brand. You can switch up your elevator pitch if you want to. You don't have to. If you do switch up your elevator pitch, though, it will change the tone of the copy. So let's go ahead and go to Athletic Greens. So let's just go here. All right. So I'm just going to take their elevator pitch, the daily drink for a healthier view. There we go. Now I'm going to go back to Ponder. I'm going to type in Athletic Greens. This elevator pitch is a bit too long. So let's do, we'll just cut it off here. We'll just do the daily drink for a healthier you, 75 superfoods, blah, 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 blah. Okay, perfect. Elevator pitch done. Now we're going to enter in the website, which is athleticgreens.com. Don't want a space there. Okay, and now we're going to create a problem and solution ad. So let's give this a second to generate the copy for us. And so this button is dynamic. So when it's empty, you're not going to be able to create copy until it refills here. Here we go. So now it creates a pain, agitate, and solution format. So lacking the nutrients you need to live a healthy lifestyle, Athletic Greens provide all of the essentials for an optimal diet. Solution. Our supplements are made with only plant-based ingredients. We offer variety that is perfect for every lifestyle. Whether you're looking to lose weight, manage diabetes, get healthier from head to toe, our products are designed to enhance your well-being. So here's another one. Pain. Blending healthy and nutritious foods into your diet can be a challenge. Agitate. 3 out of 4 Americans are deficient in key nutrients, which may lead to serious health problems like chronic fatigue, depression, poor immune function, and more. Solution. Athletic Greens provides a wide range of vitamins, minerals, and probiotics to allow you to get all of the essential macronutrients for optimal wellness. It also includes antioxidants from whole food sources that protect against stressors on the body, such as pollution or heavy metals. Great form of problem and solution copy. So once again, I'm going to save this. Just an example. Obviously, I don't own Athletic Greens, but I love this copy. So I'm going to save it. And then in the future, if I'm running ads, if our agency is running ads for a supplement client that resembles the same type of problem and solution, we can then go in there, simply switch out some of the content, and boom, we're ready to rock and roll. So problem and solution is a phenomenal format of copywriting, especially for Facebook ads. The one thing that I do want to note about problem solution, specifically with health-related products, is you do have to be careful. For example, mentioning like manage your diabetes. This is a personal attribute which Facebook will reject your ad for. So if you say your diabetes or your depression or your anxiety, that's basically that's basically using personal attributes in adverts and Facebook ads, which is not allowed. You cannot say your. You could say though, whether someone is looking to lose weight, manage their diabetes, so forth. But you never want to be like your ex, and this will provide the solution, because that is against Facebook policy. So that's one thing I wanted to note. And part of the reason I used a supplement company, as I've run ads for supplements and CBD, and it's tricky, but I've learned all of the range of policies around it and how to stay in Facebook's good light. So I figured I would mention that here. So let's go ahead and move down to before and after. And we're going to go ahead and switch this up once again. So let's think of another popular brand. One that I see everywhere right now is BrewMate. So we will use BrewMate, and here's their elevator pitch. Never waste another drop. Gone are the days of warm beers and flat seltzers. So let's just copy this in. There we go. We'll go back to Ponder, and then we'll put BrewMate. And so remember, the elevator pitch should be less than 100 symbols. This is optimal because it gives the AI a wide range of flexibility. So try to be very straight to the point, specific, and state what the product is, what the product does, and who it's for in the matter of one sentence. So we'll say, gone are the helps There we go. Is that still too long? Yeah, a bit too long. There we go. Perfect. And then we're going to change the website here, brewmate.com. And we will hit create. So before and after is going to use a similar format. So you're going to see the structure. So before, after, and it's going to bridge into offering the product. So here we go. Here's one. Enjoy your favorite drinks without the warm beverages ruining the taste. Keep your favorite drinks cold up to 24 hours, so forth. So I want to show you, I want to be a bit more specific with my elevator pitch because I didn't state what the product is, right? I state what it does, but I didn't state what it is. So let's go back to Brewmate. And I'm trying to think what you would call this. A bottle cooler. Let's use that. Bottle coolers that help keep all of your favorite drinks perfectly chilled. And there we go. Okay, this is good. Oh yeah, we want before and after. There we go. So just hit create. So I just kind of altered it so that way the AI also knows what the product is. And this should help get a bit more specific. Perfect. Before, does your drink ever get too warm before you finish it? After, keeps drinks cold for hours with no ice required. Brewmate is a smart bottle cooler that allows users to enjoy their favorite beverages at the perfect temperature until the last drop. Our innovative cooling technology uses patent-pending phase change material to keep liquids chilled to just under 0 degrees Celsius so they stay refreshing and cool and crisp. Plus, there's no need for ice or refrigeration. Very good. The heat is out of control. I like this one for summer. So the heat is out of control. You're not about to let the summer heat ruin your day. Keep it cool with Brewmate. These innovative bottle coolers are designed to keep your water, wine, and coffee at just the right temperature until you finish drinking them. So instead of coffee, I'm just going to say seltzer because that's a popular one right now. All right, and then I'm going to save that because I really like this version of copy. So you can see the before-after problem solution in the standard formats, should be used in correlation with one another. They each perform very, very well, and I recommend testing and creating variations of each. So that way, when it comes time to launch our campaigns, we can start to test these different formats to see what resonates best with your audience. Let's go ahead and create a couple Facebook ad headlines now. So I'm going to go back to using Ponder. So I'm going to enter in Ponder, helps Facebook advertisers create successful Facebook ads in seconds with artificial technology. Ponder.com. Okay. So right below your creative on Facebook is your headline. So here we go. Ponder is Facebook advertising simplified. Ponder.com. Surprisingly, if you've never tested Facebook ad headlines, a lot of times just using the URL like this or the brand name works well. So I'm happy the AI generated this version. And then we have Ponder helps Facebook advertisers. Okay, so then it used the elevator pitch there. Let's go ahead and create one more. There we go. Automated Facebook ads for a human experience. Ponder, Facebook advertising simplified. Build a Facebook ad in 60 seconds. I love this one here. Let me do one more here. There we go. Ponder, to the power of Facebook ads. Create Facebook ads in seconds. I like this. Facebook ads simplified. I'm going to say, I don't know if I like the quotes on this, but I do like this overall slogan here, this headline. All right, there we go. So I'm going to say that one as well. So then if we go back here, you'll see that, boom, now we have all of these variations here. All right, so let's go ahead and create some link descriptions now. So for this, let's say that I wanted to create a product-specific version. So I'm going to do Ponder Fusion, which is the tool we're using right now. So we're going to say AI copywriting tool that helps Facebook advertisers write high-converting ad copy. I don't have a separate landing page, so I'm just going to use the home page, and we'll hit create here. There we go. Ponder is the first copywriting AI that can write ads for marketers. I like that a lot. Increase your Facebook ad conversion rate with Ponder Fusion. Love it. And then Ponder is the world's first AI copywriting tool. Boom. So we're going to save those just so I have some link descriptions. I mean, all of these three were phenomenal. I don't really need to create any additional, but feel free to change up the pitch a bit. So let's say AI copywriting tool. I'm trying to think. Let's say AI copywriting. I'll show you how I can kind of tweak the elevator pitch to really get a different result. So let's say I have part of my audience for Ponder is brand owners that have used agencies and are tired of paying expensive agency fees, and they don't want to do it themselves. So that lets business owners replace expensive agency fees. Let's see what we get here. We'll do the copywriting for you. Boost your Facebook and Instagram engagement with our copywriting service. Let's say and then boom. There we go. Ponder Fusion, automated copywriting for the 21st century. Love it. Okay, so we're good on link description. So just generate some variations for each of these placements, and that way, when it comes time to launch your campaign, you're actually going to have the ability to just pull this copy in. Next, I want to show you this tool right here, and this will most likely look a bit different by the time you're using it. It's going to be much more feature-fledged, but this one really excites me because in the future, to give you a sneak peek, and maybe it's already available by the time you're using this, but you're actually going to be able to produce a creative on the spot for your advertising campaign. But up until that point, I wanted to build something really because it was a problem that I faced. I'm a visual learner. And so when I am doing copywriting or just generating copy results, I want to be able to see what it would look like on Facebook ads without actually having to go to Facebook ads and set everything up. I want to see it on demand. This tool right here, Brainwave, will allow you to do that and really visualize what it'll look like on Facebook. So let's go ahead and for this one, we're going to generate some copy for Ponder Brainwave. Why not? So we'll do Ponder Brainwave is a AI copywriting, we'll just say copywriting tool. And I'm going to change the elevator pitch that to create high performance Facebook ads copywriting. There we go. Okay. And so down here we have this button. You'll see it says auto generate all ad contents. So basically this tool allows you to generate each one of these separately and see it in the same format as you would on Facebook. So to get started, we'll just go ahead and generate all ad contents. Boom, there we go. So Ponder Brainwave is the first AI copywriting tool that allows to create high-performance Facebook ads. With Ponder, you can automatically generate ad content in any language, increase CTR with our unique emotional intelligence engine. Pretty cool. Now we have the headline. Ponder Brainwave will write a high-performance Facebook ads copywriting for you, and then the link description. But let's say that I don't really like this headline. It's a bit too long for me, and I just want to see what other options I have, or what other options would look like. So here I can come over to primary, and I'll click this. That I clicked primary. I meant to say heading. So we're going to click heading, but you'll see that now the primary text actually updated. We'll click heading and you'll see the heading will now actually update. Your ads will never be the same. That's pretty good. And let's switch up the description here. There we go. One more time on the heading. I want something a bit different. There we go. I really like this one. And let's do the primary text one last time here. There we go. Okay, cool. So now let's say that you've generated some variations and you love this one. You're like, this is the one. This resonates. The format just looks good when you scan from top to bottom. It just feels right. It makes you want to click. It makes you want to buy. You can hit save. And now what you can do is if you come up to your profile here, you can come down to My Advertisements. And when you click on this, you're going to find all of the various ad formats that you've created. So you can see here's one for Athletic Greens I did the other day, Fiverr, and so forth. So that's how to access all of your saved Brainwave advertisements. This tool is wonderful for visual learners, and it gives us a very easy way, an instant way to get feedback through seeing what it's going to look like on someone's phone or someone's computer. And this has been extremely powerful for me, just to come in here and create new variations and just have that gut feeling, yep, this is it. And then when I duplicate it into Facebook, they almost always resonate and correlate to what I expected them to do. So this tool has been phenomenal. Once again, it might look a bit different because we do have a ton of features planned for this tool. And so stay tuned for those. So with that said, that really sums up how you can create high performance, high converting Facebook advertising copy using artificial intelligence trained models with a few clicks of the button in a few seconds. So get your copy ready, spend some time, have some fun using these tools, explore some elevator pitches, go in here, try to use different aspects of the advertising story that you built. So for example, let's do this. Just one more example. Overpriced freelancers and agencies that don't care about the brand. So Ponder, we'll do AI tools that help Facebook advertisers avoid overpriced freelancers, agencies, so forth. A bit too long. Let's just do helps Facebook. There we go. So let's see how this elevator pitch now works to an audience of brand owners who are just fed up with the expensive agencies. There we go. Do you want to work with the Facebook team, etc.? Do you want to avoid wasting time and money on overpriced freelancers who don't care about your business? Ponder helps advertisers create, launch, and track Facebook ads without a degree in computer science. With Ponder, you can so forth. So as you can see, change up the elevator pitch. Think about the advertising story that you created. So if you know, by the time that you create this Miro board or my brand story, you're going to know who your target demographic is. Hone in to the problems. Imagine, so in the Miro board that I had shown you in the previous lesson for the dog anxiety speaker, I had mentioned there was a couple solutions that people had tried, and one of the main problems was dogs with bad behavior because of their anxiety. So imagine that you were on an elevator with someone that had a dog with anxiety and it resulted in bad behavior. Use that elevator pitch you would say to them in the place right here, and you're going to get a very highly optimized version of copy for that specific person. And what you're going to find is that by aligning these versions of copy with specific audiences, your results are going to improve dramatically. This is one of the reasons that we've been able to generate millions of dollars in 30, 60 days, because we align our copy to our target demographic and we outperform competition. So have fun with this. This is such a fun tool to have extremely professional copywriting done for you in a matter of seconds. Create some variations, save them, and get ready, because the next lessons are going to get even more fun. Stay tuned. In this lesson, you're going to learn how we produce Facebook ad creatives that generate millions of dollars every single month for our personal brands and for our agency clients. There's a formula to it, and I'm going to break that down for you here in this lesson. One thing that I want to note right from the start is that this has been updated after iOS 14.5. I actually redid the entire last half of this course after iOS 14.5 came out, because it was such a substantial impact to the day-to-day strategies of the general advertiser. And so in this lesson, you are going to learn, and I shouldn't say just this lesson, but all of these lessons, you are learning post iOS 14.5 strategies. So you are going to be ahead of any of your advertising competition that is not using post iOS 14.5 strategies. If you're not familiar with iOS 14.5, I'd recommend doing a Google search on it. Just Google iOS 14 with Facebook ads, do some reading, and you're going to see it's a substantial impact, a detrimental impact to the general Facebook advertising strategy. The reason being is that iOS 14.5 blocks the Facebook pixel from sharing data on users. Facebook does have a way around this to some extent in the form of the Conversions API. So basically, the way that Facebook can block tracking is because the Facebook pixel is fired on a client device, client browser, being a web browser. And so iOS 14.5 almost acts as a plugin that blocks the data from being shared back to Facebook. Facebook released the Conversions API, which sent the data through the server, which means iOS 14.5 cannot block it. The thing is it's not installed everywhere, it's not fully accurate, and everyone is seeing, in our accounts as of today, we are seeing anywhere from 15 to 20% of our data missing just in general. And so moving forward, Facebook ad creatives are the single biggest impact to a successful Facebook advertising campaign, hands down. Facebook ad hacks and all these different targeting hacks are out of the window. Double down on your creatives if you want to see massive results. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you the formula that we use here at Ponder to generate those results for our brands. So let's go ahead and get into this. So there's a major problem, and if you haven't started advertising yet, you're sure to run into this. You're going to run into the point where you're unsure of what type of creatives you need to generate results, and or maybe your ads that you launched just aren't working and you don't know why. Here's the solution. Planning creatives around the Ponder Diamond that you learned in the previous lesson, and that you structured in one of the previous lessons. So the Ponder Diamond formation, which is our cold traffic campaign. Remember, these are people that have never heard of our product, our brand, or our service prior to this first ad they're going to see. In this campaign, creatives should be utilizing what I call the 3 E's: engage, entertain, and educate. By using the 3 E's, you're going to align with Facebook's top recommendations for a successful ad. And one thing to note as well is the more that you are in Facebook's good standings, the more that Facebook likes the creatives that you're showing on their platform, the lower your costs are going to be and the more results you're going to see. So these are the 3 E's. Engage, being use a scroll stopping thumbnail, a scroll stopping video clip at the start, very good copy, a good headline, basically getting people to engage with the ad in the form of stopping the scroll, hitting like, and sharing it. Then you want to entertain. Entertainment in the form of teaching them something new, which is also educating. I'll touch on that here, but entertaining in the form of something new, bringing out positive emotions. You want to try to stray away from any negative emotions. So for example, back to that Athletic Greens reference in the last lesson, if you're talking about a negative health connotation, Facebook does not like negative sentiment in their ads. Think about it. They don't want their users unhappy while on their platforms. They want their users to open up the platform and have a feeling that they're going to see something that makes them smile. So by entertaining in a positive way, you're also going to align with Facebook's recommendations and preferences. So entertain. And finally, educate. If you can teach someone something new, you bring value to their lives, and they're more likely to then bring value into your business through the form of a lead or a purchase. And so the Ponder Diamond formation being your cold traffic, the first time you should meet someone should focus on the 3 E's, not necessarily selling. Of course, it's great to generate cold traffic sales, but once again, with less and less data, it's much more difficult. So when you first meet someone, think about when you meet someone in person. You're not going to ask them to buy something or do something right away. You're going to engage with them. You're going to learn about them. You might teach them something new. You might entertain them. And that's what you want to do with this advertising campaign here. So the diamond formation, use the 3 E's. Here are some examples to foster some inspiration and ideas for your diamond formation creatives. And if you're thinking, first, I don't know how to actually get creatives made. I don't really know where to start. I don't know what should be in them. We're going to cover all of that in this lesson here. So stick around throughout the whole lesson, and you're going to have all of the answers to your questions. But just follow along for right now, as I want to show you some examples to kind of kickstart that brainstorming process. So first, you'll notice over here on the left-hand side, this company called Chili Sleep. So let's read through this and see how they utilize the 3 E's. I also want to note there's one ad in this bunch that does not do a good job at the 3 E's. So I want you to see if you can pinpoint that here in a second. But first, let's take a look at this first line here. Your dreams start here with our ultimate hack to great sleep. That is a phenomenal, engaging, scroll-stopping first line. The ultimate hack. Think about the magazines at newsstands that say like the top 7 ways to do X and achieve Y, or this mind-blowing tip is going to change your life. Keywords like these buzzwords like ultimate hack, in correlation with a benefit like ultimate hack to great sleep, phenomenal way to scroll stop with copy. So right away, engaging. The next thing that they're also promising the user is that they're going to learn something, because they say, your dreams start here with their ultimate hack to great sleep. The ultimate hack to great sleep. I'd love to learn that. So now they're going to teach something as well. So they do a really good job right there. And then entertain. So I'm actually not able to click on this ad right here, but I'll show you how to use the ads library where you can actually go and explore all of Chili Sleep's ad and see this one. And what you're going to see is it's very entertaining, very fun, very upbeat, not salesy, but it does correlate that product and, teach people the ultimate hack to great sleep. So 3 E's. So here we are on Wise. Let's read this one. Pre-order Wise home monitoring for just $4.99 per month and get the core starter kit for free. Don't miss out on this great deal. What's important to you? 24/7 professional home monitoring. This is the one that is not a good ad. Not engaging. besides like what's important to you. But when you see tools, if I'm not interested in building or working on cars or construction, I'm immediately not going to resonate with this because especially when I see pre-order wise, they're trying to sell right from the start. This is not engaging and it's not educating. It's just selling. This might work well later down in their funnel, which is actually where they had it. So I'm assuming it was converting once someone, was in the diamond stability zone, but this is not a good cold traffic ad. Let's go on to this one. So the anti-creamer coffee, very good job of engaging. And then it is somewhat entertaining for being an image. So one thing that you're going to find is that image creatives can actually work very well for the 3 E's. The reason it's entertaining is because when you see this pour of coffee, it evokes emotion. Specifically, I am an avid coffee drinker. When I see something that looks this refreshing, it kind of makes my mouth water. And then I see the anti-creamer coffee, engaging, and then boom, new coffee, no creamer needed. Discover one of the lowest acid coffees available and enjoy coffee once again. So not only is it entertaining and engaging me, but if I click this button, I'm going to learn about this low acid coffee that doesn't need cream. So I will learn something, even though at first glance, you don't really notice it, but subliminally, this is going to teach me something. It's going to teach me about this brand new type of coffee. So once again, it hits on the 3 E's. So you can see, and by the way, this ad is, I cannot remember his name, but he's on YouTube. Is it Matt Clark? I cannot remember. It might be. But anyways, he actually revealed his brand, this Life Boost Coffee brand. I think they got close to $1 million a month with this single image ad right here. So phenomenal job of utilizing the 3 E's in an image creative. So it can be done, and it can be done extremely successfully. So here we have the next one. So this is actually one that I created. So this is introducing the limited Arturo Fuente art collection by Noah Elias. Arturo Fuente art collection. So you might be wondering, how is this using the 3 E's? So you have to think about the target audience because the 3 E's do change quite a bit depending on the audience. So for this is going to be advertised to cigar aficionados, being Arturo Fuente lovers, so a very niche group of people. And it's going to become even more niche because it's artwork. So it has to be a relatively higher end art collector. So what I did when I was creating this ad is I actually went onto different cigar forums and looked up details and the way people were talking and what they were into and the type of buzzwords that would engage and so forth. So you'll see introducing the limited. That was a buzzword everywhere I went. Everyone wanted a limited edition. They also wanted collections. They want to usually buy more than one to build up a collection. So first, I engage by using those buzzwords. So learn, and once again, this comes back to that advertising story. Once you know your target audience, you can really, really align to them in a very effective manner. And so we use some buzzwords to really engage. And then with an image, we have to get creative in the way that we educate and entertain. So what I did for the form of entertainment is I used a picture of Noah actually painting the artwork that they're going to get. It's entertaining because when you're on your phone, you can really look closely at the detail and just imagine getting that piece of artwork. It's entertaining because you're seeing the artist actually working on it. And that it's difficult. It's much more difficult to achieve the entertainment and education with an image, but it can be done. You just have to get creative like this coffee creamer version. So my form of entertainment and what I saw on these forums and by learning about the target audience is that they love to see the actual artist working on it before they buy it. So it's entertaining to them. And then in the form of education, it's a very different angle with artwork because unless you're teaching artists, you're not really going to be able to educate unless you can provide some unknown details. So one thing that I did with this is you'll see how all of these other ads have the domain name of the landing page, whereas with this one, it says fb.com, facebook.com. So what I did here is I used an instant collection, and I will show you how to do this inside of Facebook ads. But basically what happens here is it pulls up, so when you click learn more, it doesn't leave Facebook. It just pulls up a collection of all of the different Arturo Fuente art by Noah in a single page, and then I included some details most likely unknown to the user, details on where the cigars originated, the founders, various details like that to provide that education to make them feel closer to the brand, and ultimately the end goal being the product. And so what I really want you to get here, and I know I'm going into quite a bit of depth specifically with this one, but I want to show you that you can be very creative with utilizing the 3 E's. It doesn't have to be direct like this, where you have a engaging hook, an educating hook, and then an entertaining video. You can do this in a way that's almost subliminal to the user, but it's still very, very effective. We've been scaling this ad, and it's worked great for us. So next, onto this one, and this is another one that I created. So your pillow's best friend promotes refreshing deep sleep, helps receive insomnia and restlessness, shown to ease stress, anxiety, and then here's a testimonial. So first, the engaging, your pillow's best friend. I ran a ton of split tests and actually used Ponder to generate some copy, and this was by far the winner. This headline alone improved our click-through rate, which is how many people out of 100 people, the percentage of people out of 100 that click through to your website. This headline got us up to a 3.7 link click-through rate and down to around a 60-cent cost per click with the purchase objective. So just a small headline tweak was very engaging because when we're targeting people that struggle with sleep, your pillow's best friend just resonated. So we first engaged with the headline, both being that Facebook headline and the top line of copy here. And then we also put this render of the bottle floating on a cloud, like the pillow just feeling so rested. So that's what allowed us to engage once again with an image. Next, for the education, what we did is when you click shop now, instead of going direct to a sales page, we went to a page that discussed some different tips on how to actually improve your sleep. And then being the last tip was in reference to the product, saying maybe you've tried all these tips or you want something to help boost the effectiveness of these tips. Here's this product, Purified Sleep. So that's how we were able to educate on the off-ad landing page experience. The entertain for this one, mainly being the image render floating on a cloud and really catching. So the entertaining and educating for this one happened more off Facebook on the landing page, but once again, in summary, the 3 E's happened. So if you have a product page, let's say that you have a product page for it, maybe you were selling coffee. Let's just use this as an example. And you're sending traffic straight to the product page. It's always good to teach on the product page. Don't focus on selling the features of the coffee. Don't focus on selling USA made, 5 pounds of coffee, non-grinded beans. I mean, those are important. Include them on the page, but be focusing on the benefits, be teaching. So the anti-creamer coffee, improve stomach health through the low acidity. Here's how that works. Really hone in on the 3 E's and you're going to see substantial improvements. If you're still sitting here thinking, well, I don't even know how to start creating these, I'm going to show you in this lesson as well. So let's move forward. All right, so onto the diamond stability zone. So creative should enforce a call to action. What is your end goal? Is it a purchase? Is it a lead? Is it a sign up to a website? The diamond stability zone is then where you go for that call to action. Because remember, in the diamond formation, you just introduced yourself. You engaged, you educated, and you entertained. You started the foundations of a solid relationship. And now it's time to go for more of that direct call to action, asking the user to then do something. So here's some examples of the different forms of the diamond stability zone creative. So remember diamond number 1 is warm audiences. People that just engage with your ad, liked the ad, watched a certain amount of it, but didn't actually visit your website. Those are going to be the people that are going to see these type of ads. And so what you want to do with warm audience creatives is you still want to follow the same principles of the diamond formation creatives. If they haven't clicked over to your website yet or started to take an action, they don't trust you enough, they don't realize the benefit that's going to bring to their life. And so you really have to continue to hone in on the 3 E's, and you'll see some really good examples here. The number one type of creative that I see working here is essentially a duplicate of the diamond formation creative. So use some cold traffic style creatives, and then also some more educational testimonial style videos. So I'll show you some of these here. So here's one. It's by Chili Sleep, but you'll see it's a person that is not their company talking positively about it. Ladies, is your man frustratingly far in the middle of the night? Guys, are you dying of heat sweats while you sleep? If so, you need to try a Chili Sleep pad. I'm telling you, it'll change your life. Right now, you can get a Chili, blah, 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 blah. And this video with someone essentially giving a honest review of the product. And this works really well because it builds trust with that end user, being that someone else besides the brand is recommending the product. And it's still playing into the 3 E's. Engaging. And the way that they engage with these testimonials is by using different demographics of people, because I guarantee when you think about this, you're going to be like, oh, I've done this just subliminally. When you're on Facebook and you see an ad, if that ad resembles someone like you or someone that you aspire to be like, you're more likely to then engage with that ad. And so what you're going to see, especially with a company like Athletic Greens, is that they have hundreds of user testimonials to their warm traffic running because it works phenomenally well to align with potential customer demographics. So follow the 3 E's in the warm audiences. Here's another example by Chili Sleep. You can see they changed the demographic, changed the angle. Chili Sleep, boom, here you go. And then here's one that I also ran for Noah. So this one was actually this wasn't for that artwork, but it's actually to teach other artists of how to publish your artwork. So this is the one that I used for warm traffic. This is scaled to over 1 million impressions in a matter of months. Worked very well. Prints, they're not dead. In fact, they're hotter than ever. Boom, engaging, teaching them something new. A lot of artists, based on our research, thought prints were dead. Thought everything was already digital. But nope, here we're breaking down a myth and really changing a perspective that aligns with our product, but also teaching and entertaining and engaging. 3 E's. Prints are not dead. In fact, they're hotter than ever. Create a strong print business without bogging yourself down with the details, blah, blah, blah. And then on the Learn More, it's a full page talking about prints and then bridging into the product itself. So warm audiences, you want to continue with the 3 E's. Where it really changes, though, is hot audiences. Go for the conversion. Go for the lead. Go for the sale. These are people that have already engaged with your product, your brand, your service, meaning they've been on the website, they've viewed a product, they've added to cart, they've initiated checkout, they've done everything but purchase. And what you'll see is, okay, a company like Allbirds, $100 million plus company per year, you can see it's just a product photo, made with sustainable natural materials. Give our shoes a shot for 30 days. If you're not walking on Cloud 9, we'll take them back, no questions asked. If you notice what they did is they started breaking down user objection. Here's one that I did for Noah. So once again, with the artwork, this isn't teaching art, this is selling art. People want limited exclusive editions. So boom, inventory is limited. One of the blockers, oddly enough, is that people didn't realize that some of the artwork is limited. And so by telling them, it almost removes that buying objection of, hey, I only want something exclusive. Boom, done right there with one line. So you can see it doesn't have to be complicated. But once again, we're using a product photo. Another big objection in this part of the funnel, if they still haven't purchased or became a lead, is price. So you can see what Built Basics does. So this is clothing. I'm actually wearing their shirt right now. I converted on this ad. Elevate your striped shirt collection with our all new styles. Use code SAVE10 for 10% off your first order. Shop now. Boom, I went to the website, used 10% off, and got a t-shirt. So broke down the price objection. Purified. So one of the big objections with supplements is that they don't work. So by testimonials, which Athletic Greens, once again, go to their ads library, you're going to be blown away. Show testimonials, video testimonials, and then boom, price objection right here as well. Here's an ad, another one that I created. This one has also scaled to over 2 million impressions. So this one is a supplement for gut health. The gut is the largest so starting to focus, once again, hone in on people with gut issues. So show people that we do have authority. So that's another blocking objection, buyer objection, is that the brand doesn't have authority, that they don't necessarily know what they're talking about. So by using this very professional terminology, we were able to then show authority and then also offer 10% off for that final objection. And this one has converted extremely well. So by the time that you get to the hot audiences, you want to go straight for the purchase. So the resources that I use, and I'm going to actually hop into these here in one moment, is the ads library and then Facebook ads case studies. So occasionally you get some very good brands that post some pretty cool case studies. You can see some data. But overall, the ads library is really where I hang out. The other thing that I like to do, it's not as effective as it used to be, but it still can work, is actually go to a competitor's website. So for example, you could go to athleticgreens.com, take action. So view their product, add it to cart, start to check out, then leave. What you're going to see on your newsfeed as you navigate the internet is different types of ads based on where you took your action. So if you just view their website and you don't add to cart, you're going to see an ad that focuses on the 3 E's. If you go add to cart and initiate a checkout, then leave, you're going to see more direct buy now type of ads. Really good way to figure out what your competitors are doing. And then you can also view comments and such to see what potential customers of yours are saying, their positives, the cons, any issues they've had, their experience. And you can once again use all of this to outpace competition. Moving forward after iOS 14, the brands that are going to continue to win and the advertisers that will continue to win are going to be the ones that learn their customers from the inside out. The ones that can tell you every single detail, every pro, every con, every buyer objection that their consumers feel and that they face when buying. Those are going to be the brands that win, because all advertising is taking users on a customer journey and breaking down buyer objections. So always remember that. The creative isn't just to put an ad out there, just to rush something out there. The creative is the sole most important piece of breaking down buyer objection, which converts into your end goal. So let me go over to the ads library here and show you how this works. So what I want you to do is go to facebook.com/ads/library. And this is the Facebook ads library. So the ads library provides advertising transparency by offering a comprehensive searchable collection of all ads currently running across Facebook apps and services, including Instagram. So basically, Facebook, after the Cambridge Analytica schemes, they allowed everyone to go onto Facebook and actually see ads that a brand is running. So let's go ahead and take a look at the reference I've been using frequently, Athletic Greens, because their ads are phenomenal. So let's go here. So if you type in a brand name, you'll be able to find it. So you can see Athletic Greens right here. And if you click this, you're going to see all of the ads that are actively running. You're not going to see ones that were paused or shut off, but that's okay, because the only time an advertiser turns off an ad is if it's not working anymore, or if a campaign is, maybe they ran a holiday sale, but you want to see the ads that have been running for a very long time. So if you scroll down to the bottom, these ads are sorted by impressions by month. So for example, January 2021, this ad right here had the most impressions during that time frame. But let's go take a look at some of the newer ones. So you can actually click play on these videos. You click play on these videos. I'm not going to, because the volume's going to go very loudly into your ears. But you'll see that their top viewed videos are really focused around different customer demographics. You can see in almost every ad, there's a different type of person. I'll see you in the next lesson. Talk soon. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to do video analysis using Sherlock and Sherlock's artificial intelligence technology. So when it comes to building high-performing creatives, it's often very difficult unless you have a bunch of ad spend to invest into collecting data, you have previous ads that were successful, or you know how to reverse engineer your competition's ads. And so looking back on the previous lesson, you saw how to do that with image creatives, but in this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to do it using Sherlock's artificial intelligence in video ads. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so here we are in Ponder, and on the left navigation here, we can come down to Sherlock. We'll click on the video tab, and here I've already downloaded and uploaded an ad from a company called BrewMate. So BrewMate sells a very high quality, essentially like a koozie. It keeps your drinks cold. Very popular right now, very successful company. And so let's say that I was either one, running ads for a client in this space, or two, I wanted to launch a product in this space and I needed to build a video ad for my Facebook advertising campaign. So I've saved this ad from BrewMate. I'll go ahead and play this for you here so you can see what we're working with. All right, so 15 seconds, vertical format. It's doing really well for them. You can see I added some labels here for future filtering and accessibility. But let's go ahead and check out what Sherlock can do for us. So just like images, we can analyze the object and scene, and anything that the AI picks up, it's going to label it here for you. So you'll see, for example, we have a bottle. So if we click on bottle, and if you look back up here, you'll see that it actually highlights the portion of the video that this object is located. or we have refrigerator. So you can see, boom, there's a refrigerator right in here. Beach. So picks up the objects in the scene. So this is really useful because as a when you're producing a creative or instructing someone to produce a creative, you can now say, at this time frame, we need this object in the video. So let's go ahead and check out image moderation. No analyzed issues. Facial analysis, as you saw, there was no faces in here. Celebrities, if there's no faces, we really can't identify a celebrity. Text, so you'll see, for example, vodka soda, picks it up right there. Drink better, brewmate. So, yep, there's that. So that's good to know that we'll probably want to put our brand here at the end, about in the last 4 seconds. So this is really useful just to break down the objects and really the environment you should shoot your video, very similar to how the image creative works. But we recently updated a new feature and released this called Creative Structure. So what happens is we have an algorithm that breaks out the ad into important segments. So you can see here that the algorithms identify 0 to 3 seconds being the first most important section of this creative. Let me make sure I don't have anything selected here. Okay, I just want to make sure. There we go. So what you'll see is when I choose 0 to 3 seconds, it'll mark it off. So this is all the way through 3 seconds. And here we can see a breakdown of all of the different objects in this scene. So we have drinks right here. Let's see, beverages, once again, really same thing. Refrigerator being in the first 0 to 3 seconds. You can see the person's arm comes into the video in the first 0 to 3 seconds. So what you're going to see me do here in a moment is replicate this creative. And now what I know how to do is really how to record it, because I know in the first 0 to 3 seconds, I want a refrigerator with a drink, and I'm going to be grabbing it out of the fridge. And that's really the first 0 to 3 seconds. So this is their scroll stopper. So I know this is really what I need to replicate here. One thing to note is you'll see that elevator, machine, cosmetics, that gets picked up. And this is actually very useful because obviously that's not what it is, but the AI, it's reading it as there is a chance that's what it could be. And so as a user on Facebook, there's a chance that they could be confused and maybe misinterpret the first 3 seconds or the first second of the video. Instead of a refrigerator, maybe they do think it's an elevator and they skip the ad. So what I'm going to try to do in my video is when I complete it and I upload it here, I'm going to see if I can get it so the AI doesn't pick up any chance of it being an elevator or being cosmetics. Because if I can avoid the AI thinking there's a chance that's what it is, I'm going to avoid any potential confusion from the user on Facebook. So that's going to be one of my goals, avoid any of the characteristics that really don't align with what it actually is. So 3 to 6 seconds. Let's see what we got here. Let me actually uncheck it. There we go. So brings out the bottle here. Once again, we still have the arm in there, the human. And then we also, for example, have the beach. So the beach comes in right at about the end of the 3 to 6 seconds. So first scene, opening up the fridge. I'm going to make sure all these characteristics are there. Second one, it's really just them taking it out, putting it in the product. So here's the product here. And you can see, then they introduce the nature. So really focusing on the summer vibe. Let's see, is it 6 to 9 seconds? Boom. Product, still outside. So here's the aluminum. It picks up the can, opening it. There we go. 9 to 12. Let's see what's here. So really just a shoreline with the logo. Then 12 to 15. Doing a cheers. So really the can, once again, human, bottle, shoreline. So I'm going to go ahead and replicate this ad and ensure that my version has these winning characteristics in it. So let's go ahead and record that ad. Okay, so I have recorded my ad. Let me show you what I did here. So boom, opening the fridge, grabbing a seltzer. There's a sink. And then one thing to know is I don't own a koozie like what Brewmate sells. So I just had to get kind of creative and grab the Yeti cooler there. or a Yeti cup, and then just dropped it in there. So recorded that, and then what I did is I went up to my roof. So I don't live near a beach, but acted like I opened it. Boom, put my hand down. That way, if I was doing a full edit, I could put the logo of my company up here. And then I simply used an app called InShot. So InShot allowed me to edit this in a matter of about 7 seconds. So you can see here, so I just kind of scroll through and I save it. So what you'll notice is, let me show you really quickly. So you'll see, let me see if I can pause it. Right about here and in the clip, so 7.6 seconds, you'll see this little pencil icon. This is where I added the clip on the roof, and then that way you can see it kind of transitions pretty nice. So I simply save it to my phone. Boom, done. And then I airdropped it over. So here's the final result. And with InShot, I could have added some music, but you'll see right here, boom, there we go. So now, remember, we want to, so let's take a look at this analysis. First, 0 to 3 seconds, we want a fridge, person, drink. That's really going to be the main aspects. I think like the appliance was being the sink, so I made sure to get that in there as well. Then 3 to 6, we want same type of things, bottle, human, person, so forth. But then they also included nature, coast, ocean, outdoors. So obviously, as I said, I don't really have an ocean here in Chicago, so I just got creative, went on my roof to kind of take that nature aspect. Then here, kind of same trend, so forth. And then finally, the outro where they put their arm down so they can include the logo. I didn't put a logo on mine because I don't own a brand in the space, but I did know where it would be located. So let's go ahead and upload this final version that we recorded here. So I'm just going to drag it to my desktop so I have this accessible. So we'll click upload. Here it is. All right. And now let's go ahead and upload this and give it a minute here to upload, as it's a decent sized file. And then we will let Sherlock do the video analysis on it. Now the video is performing analysis, or I should say Sherlock's performing analysis on the video. So we'll give it a couple minutes here, let it scan it, and then see how our representation of BrüMate's ad turned out. And there we go. So the analysis is completed. I'm just going to label this so I'm able to save it. So let's just call this demo creative BrüMate replica. So I don't really have a brand here, but I'll do alcohol. I'm just going to put some filters here. I'm going to label this test. Should be good. So let's go ahead and save this. So now we can quickly access both of these, and let's take a quick look. So what you'll notice is when we look at BrüMate, we'll see appliance, human, person, refrigerator, machine, shelf, beverage, appliance, there we go, electronics. So I think it actually picked up my dishwasher. So it had a little bit of confusion between that, but you can see we did manage to avoid, I believe, elevator. So I just want to scan and see if it, all right, so we were able to avoid the elevator, which is cool, but let's take a look at the overall creative structure and see how well this was replicated. So I'm going to open up Ponder side by side here. So on the right hand side, I'm going to open up Sherlock and have my creative, and on the left hand, I'll have BrüMate's. So we can do some side by side creative structure analysis. So let's take a look. Okay, so it, oh, whoops, clicked on the wrong one. Here we go. Okay, so first thing that you'll notice is, remember our goal was to remove any confusion about it being an elevator. So we were successful there. It does kind of pick it up as a potential dishwasher, but I don't think that's a big issue, as you can see the drinks in there. Electronics, that makes sense because there's lights. So the main characteristics that we wanted to replicate from this one was human, the person, human. Then we also wanted refrigerator, and then drink, beverage, bottle. So let's see how we did. We have, so appliance, I mean, that was same there. Then we have shelf, which is also mimicked. Okay, so a person, human. It didn't pick up the drinks. And so I think the reason why is, let's see. Let me uncheck these and we can kind of do some analysis here. All right. So drink, I think it might have just been because of the different angle, but I mean, we did pick up most of this, so that's good. And also from a user perspective, they should be able to tell that these are drinks, but if I wanted to be very specific, I can see how I could improve this. So if you look at the angle that this was recorded, it has basically like an eye level sight, a first person view of the shelf here, whereas this one's more on an angle, which could throw some users off. So if I started by kneeling, looking head on to the drinks, it probably would have picked up drinks. So that's one thing to note. And that's where this creative AI analysis comes in very handy, because I wouldn't have realized that recording this on an angle could cause potential confusions, and it's not picking up drinks. So that's one improvement I can make. But overall, you can see we replicated the majority of the first characteristics here in the initial 0 to 3 seconds. So let's check out 3 to 6. Okay, here we go. So 3 seconds to 6 is really where it picked it up. So alcohol, beer, beverage, can, drink, bottle, drink. So we have finger, obviously, I believe. Yep. So finger. The one thing that I do like that BrewMate did is, I think I understand why they chose to use a high noon for this, because the AI clearly knows that from 3 to 6 seconds, there's alcohol in here. Whereas the AI in this one scans it and doesn't pick it up as alcohol. So BrewMate will avoid any potential issues with Facebook ads and Facebook in general, because Facebook, once again, alcohol or anything like that is kind of like a gray policy. They're not big on it. And BrewMate here isn't getting picked up for alcohol. So that's an interesting perspective. Whereas this, White Claw, AI knows what that is right away. And so I'm assuming Facebook's AI also knows. So that also explains why this person likely chose to use high noon to record this creative. So once again, if I wanted to avoid any potential issues with the image moderation, I could go and get a case of high noons, re-record it using that instead. But overall, you can see we once again did a really good job mimicking the characteristics. So for example, indoors, human, person. You can see we did a very good job aligning the majority of initial characteristics from this segment too. So we're doing pretty good for our first attempt at mimicking this creative. 6 to 9. So here, this is when they begin to go outside. So once again, we have outdoors, human, nature, aluminum, can, bottle. Those are going to be the main characteristics to replicate here. So let's see. We have, did I make it outside yet in this part? So mine is a little bit delayed. You can see that my timing is a bit off. So I could have maybe cut the creative and just kind of reworked it, or even just re-recorded it so it was a bit faster in this portion. So let's see, once I do get outside right here, if it's fairly well aligned with BrewMate. So let's go here. All right. So we have, nature, outdoors. Let's see if we have nature and outdoors. We have outdoors. It makes sense. We really don't have nature because once again, we're in the city. So that's one thing to know is if I did want to, maybe it was a beautiful sunny day and I went down to the beach, I could just obviously I would have my phone, bring a seltzer, bring the product, and then boom, we'd hit the nature characteristic too. But overall, this is still a pretty good angle because we have porch, pottery, tree, plants, deck, balcony. So it is, outdoor. And let me kind of go back a little bit. So you can see, it is a decent representation. So just a couple different tweaks in recording this, and you can see how the characteristics of our ad are very, very similar. So if I was to run a product in this space, this creative would likely perform. It needs a few tweaks, as we've kind of discussed and identified through this characteristic analysis. But overall, you can see how uploading a competitor's creative, one of their top performing video ads, looking at the characteristics, and then recreating it for your own product and trying to align the key winning characteristics is very powerful. This is how we generate our top producing or top performing creatives. We take competitors' top ads or even our previous top ads, do the analysis with Sherlock, and then ensure any new creatives that we create align with the creative structure here. So this is how to perform creative analysis for videos using Sherlock. I hope you have a full understanding now, and you can use this to build some very, very successful ads. I will see you in the next lesson. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to take those winning characteristics revealed by Ponders AI and build winning Facebook ad creatives. Let's get into it. When it comes to actually having Facebook ads created, there's actually a few options that I want to present to you here in this lesson. Some of you are very talented with Photoshop and editing, so you might want to do your own, which is great. But others might not have those skill set or just don't have the time and energy to do it themselves, so they'd rather hire it out. Also great. I'm going to show you both of those options and then also the in-between option, which Ponder can offer you as a service here to speed up time and also save you some money. So this is how to create Facebook ad creatives that follow the 3 E's we touched on in the previous lesson. So you actually have a few creative production options. First, you can do it yourself. This is going to be extremely low cost, whatever your phone costs to actually record the ad, but that's about it. Maybe a subscription to Photoshop or whatever else, but very low cost. There's no cost to actually have the asset of the ad made. And it's quick because it's only up to you. So if you can produce an ad in a day, if you can record the content and edit it, that's going to be your turnaround time to get it launched. Next, you can do the in-between. So you can create the assets, being you can record the video clips, you can take some product images or just lifestyle images, then send it off to an editor for them to do their professional work. It's going to be medium cost because you do have to pay that professional editor, but it's also very quick because if you can record those assets in a day, get it off to the editor the same day, and then they have a day turnaround time, it's almost the same as doing it yourself. You're just going to have to pay a little bit more to have it done for you, have it edited for you. And then finally, if you don't want to do either of those, you just want to hire it out, then you can hire 100%. It's going to be high cost depending on the level of quality you want, ranging anywhere from $500 per ad all the way up to $50,000, $100,000 per ad if you want to go wild with it. But it's also the slowest because first, let's say that you're having a physical, like if you want to advertise this drill, back to the drill example, you would have to ship the drill out, the product out to the agency that's going to record the ads. They have to structure the ad, get your approval before they start recording, then they have to record, then they have to go into production and editing and then get your approval and do any changes. And so it's going to be very high cost because you're hiring a whole team to do this for you. And it's going to be the slowest. But if your brand is at a point where you have a budget and you want to take it to the next level, quite often this is going to be the best option. As you can find companies that only do this. This is their only focus, and the work that they do is absolutely phenomenal. So it's high cost, it is slow, but if you have the capital, it could be worth it. So let's go through each one of these, and then I'm also going to show you some real examples of a couple video ads that I produced with nothing but my iPhone that generated a few $100,000 in sales in the matter of a couple weeks. I'll show you the actual videos here at the end and break down how I did these. So first, do it yourself. This is the process that you'll need to follow to really find success with the creatives that you build. First, analyze your competitors' top creatives in Ponder Sherlock, as we did in the last lesson, and reveal the winning characteristics. So the facial analysis, the age ranges, if they're smiling, and so forth. Take those characteristics and produce creatives. Produce creatives that you feel match and align with those characteristics. Then, once you're done creating those in Photoshop or in creating the video, re-upload your version to Ponder Sherlock and ensure that the characteristics that the AI finds align with your competitors' top ads. The closer you can get to an exact match, the more likely your ad is going to crush it right from the start, as long as you're hitting that same target audience, which you most likely will be, as we get into the targeting sections later on in this course. One thing to note, this course does not teach image or video editing, as I'm not a professional. I can toss ads together with my phone and with Adobe Premiere, but I'm not a professional. I actually, once I hit a point of scale where I could afford a team, I now have a professional graphic designer on my team, professional video editor, and so I don't actually do any of my own editing anymore. Sometimes I will shoot assets, like shoot the actual content, but quite often I'm not doing any of it just because professionals can do it much better. So I'm not going to teach you Photoshop or anything like that. That is a skill set you would have to learn. There are a lot of great apps on the phone nowadays that you can produce something. And I'll show you at the end how I made a high 6-figure ad, a very, very profitable ad with nothing but my phone. You'll just have to teach yourself. So do-it-yourself option is great. It's quick. It's cost efficient. You can do it today as long as you have your product on hand and you have the skill set. So that is the do-it-yourself method. Pretty self-explanatory, but I wanted to touch on it. Also note I'm not going to be teaching the graphic design aspects. Next, we have the create the assets and then hand it off to an editor. This is really a hybrid model of the other two, and this is actually the model that I use 90% of the time. It's cost efficient and it's very quick, so it allows me to move fast, which I really enjoy. So this is the process that I personally follow when I create the most of my ads nowadays. First, I still analyze my competitors' top creatives in Ponder Sherlock because I need to know the winning characteristics before I waste money testing an ad that's not going to work. So figure out the winning characteristics in Ponder Sherlock. And then what I'll do is, for example, let's pull up. I'll just kind of do a live quick sort of walkthrough here. So let's take a look at Athletic Greens again. So I believe, did I save one of these? Well, here's a Yeti cooler one. So let's do this. So let's say that I'm trying to sell a similar product to a Yeti cooler. First, I want to find out what the videos and the images I'm about to record with my phone should have in the frame. So first I see that, well, I need a person, so I'll just use myself. Outdoors, grass. Well, I'm not in Chicago, but I do have some like fake ivy hung up, so I'll use that. A plant. Boom. Shorts. So I'll wear shorts. I have shorts on right now. And then facial analysis. So age. Okay, I'm within that age range. I can still use myself. Wearing sunglasses. So I would I toss on my sunglasses, and then it's wearing a hat. I don't actually have my head up here. Appears to be calm, so forth. And then they have the product. So what I would do is I would go right on my roof here. I have like a bit of ivy. And actually, I'm going to go do it right now. In the matter of 3 minutes, I went outside on my roof and replicated this with nothing but my iPhone. I just set it on the ground. Obviously, if you have someone taking a picture, you can get a better angle. And the other thing is I'm in Chicago in a condo, so not a ton of nature around me. But if I went down to the lake and had my friend shoot a photo like this, you can see we have all of the same type of characteristics. So I have same age range, carrying that would be my product. Have some grass in the background, got the hat, got the sunglasses. I tried to replicate the demeanor. Once again, I was by myself. I'm not even wearing shoes. Well, I guess that works, but you can see how it still resembles this. And so let me hop back over here. So I produce assets just like that, and then I send it off to my editor. Obviously with videos and clips, you need to record a lot more. And even with images, I still recommend sending it off to an editor where they can add the right contrast and saturation and your logo. So this is how I work. So this is how I usually make 9 out of 10 of my creatives. Analyze for the top characteristics, just like we did there. I produce the assets with my iPhone. I send it to my editor, and then they send it back. I re-upload the creative to ensure the winning characteristics are identified. So let's imagine that I had just sent this, where did it go? I just sent off this picture, this one here. So let's say my editor sent it back. So then what I would do is I'd come in here. I think it's going to be in downloads. Yep. And then I would upload it. Boom. So facial analysis, you can see it matches 22 to 34 years old, wearing sunglasses, appears to be calm, not smiling, male. Boom. We hit all of these the characteristics. So you could see if I was actually running a product like Yeti, and I'd obviously crop it, my editor would do a good job, but right from the start, in a matter of 3 minutes, I produced an ad with those same winning characteristics. So this is the process. You use the tool to figure out what your ad needs to have in it before you launch. Otherwise, without knowing the characteristics, you're going to launch your ad. If it doesn't work, you're going to spend a bunch of money. You're still not going to know what you're missing. You're going to have to test a bunch of random variations to try and figure it out. This will tell you exactly what you need in your ad. So save time, save money. Trust me. Just find the characteristics and mimic them. So that is the create and then pass off to an editor model. One thing to note as well is if you want Ponder to actually do this for you, use the navigation link that's called Creatives, and you can do it right there. We can actually, my personal team that edits my creatives will edit yours for you. Okay, so on to the next one. We have hire 100%. So we've also done this model. It is a bigger investment, I think, for the ad that we created. We also created like a series of YouTube videos, which we could cut up into ads. But overall, I believe for the ad itself, it was around $5,000. And then we did around 4 YouTube videos, which ran us for a total of $2,000 each, but so $10,000 or $8,000 in total there. So it is a hefty investment. But once you have a brand that's at that level of scale where you can take that next step in the professional quality, it's good to do it because it does differentiate your brand from all of the other ones that are running the not lower quality, but non-professional produced ads. There's a level of trust that it just automatically ensues into your viewer. So this is how we went about it. We first tried to find local services through Google and Craigslist, and we did. The best part about local is it does speed up the progress time, and depending on where you live, you're going to avoid the shipping costs and the delays, and you're going to save money as well. So if you live, for example, I live in Chicago. We looked in the suburbs for someone, found them, and we saved around 40% versus if we would have hired an agency downtown. So look at Google and Craigslist. Just search for advertising content agency, video agency, and you're going to find a lot. So then the process, they're going to direct you. I mean, I don't have the specifics on each company, but you're going to end up shipping it. They're going to record, edit, get your approval, and then they're going to provide you with the files. This is most expensive and the most time consuming, but it is that next level of professional quality. Okay. So if you do want to do it yourself or even produce assets for an editor, here's what you're going to need for a winning creative, a video creative specifically. You're going to want a scroll stopping clip for the first 3 to 5 seconds, a problem solution clip. So talk about the problem that your target demographic's having, present your product as a solution, go into the benefits. What are the value that this target demographic is going to get in their life from your product or your service? And then call to action, shop now, sign up now, whatever it might be. And to show you this, I actually have a few of my creatives. These are older ones, so let me see. Yeah, so I created this November 18th, 2019. This ad alone generated $570,000 in revenue in around 75 days at a 3.1x return on ad spend. And I recorded this with the product. So what I was selling at the time was a little security camera. And so it's called the Beam camera. And so here's the ad that absolutely crushed it for me. And I will note a couple things here. This isn't the one actually. So I split tested like this crazy face at the start and quickly realized that Facebook does not like this negative connotation. So the other thing that I want to note is since this isn't the actual file, so we didn't have that weird face at the start. And then the other thing that we had to change, as our lawyer recommended it, is we put this is real footage, but this is actually me dressed up. So we had to alter it before we launched it. And we just said, this is footage. We had to put a little disclaimer here that this is an actor and so forth. But that modified version of the ad absolutely crushed it. It was $578,000 in revenue in about 2.5 months. So this is what the ad actually looked like though. So let me, first I want to put in my headphones so I can make sure your ears aren't getting destroyed. All right, let's go ahead and play this. So what I did here is in my old apartment a couple years ago, I took my security camera and I stuck it up. It was a magnetic feature, so you could stick it to the fridge and so forth. So I put it on the fridge. Then I acted like I would rob my house because I needed a scroll stopper, which showing footage of a burglary scroll stopper. And I also needed to present the problem being burglary. And so this is the one that did it. And then I also I bought like for $50 the rights to use this hip hop beat, just because it also provided the form of entertainment of a cool sounding beat. And there was a lot of people that commented like, "Oh man, I just want this beat to work out to." So they would listen to it, they drive up the engagement and so forth. So this is me robbing my own home right now. So you just got to get creative with your creatives. Yeah, so you can see we obviously had to edit some of this before we launched it. Just didn't want to get in legal trouble, but boom, solution. So that was the problem. That was a scroll stopper solution. And then we go through and show. So these are actually like clips from people that submitted it, use our easy to use app. So then we go through the benefits. And then the one way that I wanted to differentiate from all my competitors was, since it was portable, I was like, wait, I can also use this. I can angle this for people that have a car, want a dash cam, people, pet owners, or people with kids. So it's not only a security camera, and I can reach a big group of people. So you'll see protect your home from burglary, angle number 1. Use it as a vehicle dash cam, angle number 2. See what your pets are up to when you're gone, pet owners. And then I think I had the one for the kids like back in here somewhere. And then what I did is, so we'll go right about here. So then the social proof, the testimonials. So this is actually right here. This is my grandma. This is my sister. That's my grandpa. That's my dog. And then I just recorded some videos. This is myself. I'm just recording with the iPhone, showing how easy it is to set up and use it. Boom. And that is a $500,000 ad right there that was recorded and edited with nothing but my iPhone. So that is that's the formula. And then here's some additional ones. So like I did different formats. 8-second clip. That there's a problem. There's a scroll stopper. Stop buying outdated, expensive security cameras. People want security, but they don't want to spend that money. And then what I do is I actually show, stick it on your fridge. Boom. And it worked extremely well. So this is how to go about producing creatives that absolutely crush it. And throughout the upcoming lessons, I'll be sure to dive into some of my newer creatives that are responsible for millions in revenue per month. And yeah, we'll get there when we get there. So I hope you enjoyed this. Go work on your creatives, and I'll see you in the next lesson. In this lesson, we're going to go through the pre-launch checklist that I highly recommend checking the boxes off before you kick off your Facebook advertising campaigns. Let's do this. Before you kick off your Facebook advertising campaign, I want you to go through this pre-launch checklist with me and ensure that you have everything prepared and ready to go before you start implementing your creatives into your Facebook advertising campaigns. The mistake that I used to make frequently was I would get so excited, I'd build one creative, one variation of copy, I'd go straight to Facebook ads and then launch it. And then I would go get another one, and then I'd plug it in and so forth. And things got messy very quickly. Data was coming in. I wasn't sure if I should keep ones running if I didn't see results while I'm installing new ones and implementing new creatives. And this is what I recommend doing now. Have everything for your first campaign ready. And imagine like you have a boss that you are going to run a marketing campaign for their company, and your boss will only approve the campaign if you come to them with all of the assets ready in hand to show them what you're about to launch. That's how you should treat this. Have all of your assets prepared, and it's going to make the launch process and the testing process so much more efficient. So here we go. This Google Sheet is below the video. You can simply make a duplicate. So if you go to File, make a copy. You won't be able to edit it until you make a copy. Once you make a copy, let's go through this checklist. So number 1, do you have the advertising copy for the diamond formation? So go ahead and go to Ponder, and if you go to the Fusion copywriting tool, then saved items, you're going to find all of the copy that we created in the previous lesson. As long as you have copy here that you feel follows the 3 E's, it'll be perfect for your diamond formation in your cold traffic. So let's go ahead and check this one off. Next, do you have advertising copy for the diamond stability zone, which is going to be your retargeting? And remember from the previous lesson when we were looking at those ads for inspiration, and really we saw a focus on breaking down buyer objections in the form of discounts, in the form of showing authority, and so forth. Do you have those ready as well? So once again, go back to Fusion. You'll most likely have some, but remember, you can always find some and then edit it. So for example, let's take a look here. So let's say that I want to convert this one into a diamond stability zone, lower funnel retargeting copy. So what I'll do, so I'm just going to delete the breakpoints here. All right. So I'm going to space this out a little bit. There we go. So create successful Facebook ads in seconds. Ponder is the fastest and smartest way to create a winning ad campaign. You select your blah, blah, blah. So here's authority. And now I also want to break down the price objection. So I'm not even going to offer a discount here. I'm going to break it down in a different way. So I'll say save thousands when you use Ponder instead of an expensive agency or freelancers. So that's another way to break down an objection. And now we also have a form of a lower targeting, lower of the funnel, bottom of the funnel retargeting copy. So remember, you are more than welcome to generate variations and then just add in those styles and those inspirations of copy that we used and saw in the previous lessons. So we're good here. Let's go ahead and check off Diamond Stability Zone retargeting copy. Next, do we have advertising creatives for the diamond formation? So remember, as long as it follows the 3 E's, you're good to go. I would recommend having 3 to 5 variations of advertising creatives before launch. I mean, you can launch with one, but then you don't know how it is working in comparison to any other ones. So try to have 3 to 5 ready, and I'll actually take a note of that here. Cold traffic, 3 to 5 preferred. All right, so do you have 3 to 5 cold traffic ads? Remember, you don't need to, but I highly recommend it. Let's go ahead and check this off. So ad creatives, Diamond Stability Zone. I would recommend having at least 1 to 2 of these. So we'll just add that here. 1 to 2 preferred. Do you have 1 to 2 video or image creatives that are good for the bottom of the funnel traffic? Once again, go back to the lesson where we talked about the ads inspiration and went through examples of bottom of the funnel and replicate your competitors. Let's go ahead and check this off. Do you have your advertising story? Do you have the Miro board? And or do you have a My Story brand built out? Don't launch Facebook ads without having it, because you're going to spend a lot more money less efficiently than if you would. So we've got that. Daily budget. What are you going to start advertising with? So right here, all you need to do is edit this first number here. And I always use a 80-20 split for new campaigns. So 80% of the budget going to the diamond formation, 20% going to the diamond stability zone. So let's say you have a budget of $50 a day, $40 to the cold traffic, $10 to the diamond stability zone. Let's say you have $500 per day. You can see. So it's just a simple 80-20 split. This is what we use for our brands, all of our clients' brands, and it works well. You are going to learn how to scale it and how to modify budgets in the upcoming lessons. But for right now, just pick a good starting budget, and we recommend an 80-20 split. So we got our daily budget. And then we have the Conversions API in Pixel. Do you have this set up? Is it working? If it's not, do not run ads. You need to make sure that your Conversions API is installed, set up, you have max data sharing on, and your Pixel is also integrated. Do not run ads without these two. And finally, ask yourself, the creatives, well, state this, and then if you believe it, you can check it off. The creatives I have are my absolute best effort. Do you fully believe that you put your best effort forward when when building or having these advertising creatives made? Or do you feel like, oh, they're okay, oh, they'll work? Or are you like, yes, these are it? You want to feel like, yes, these are it. Do not check this box unless you truly believe it, because iOS 14.5 and moving forward, less and less data is going to make it so much more important to have phenomenal advertising creatives. Spend as much time as you need to have these highly professional creatives made. Use Ponder's Designer if you need to. Hire an editor if you need to, but spend a good chunk of time and put 110% energy behind your advertising creatives, and only check this box when you truly believe that the creatives that you have are your absolute best effort. Once you're done, we are ready to rock and roll. So in the next lesson here, we're going to take all of these assets and we're going to actually build out our campaign and get some data flowing in and get some results flowing in as well. So I will see you in the next lesson. Do not skip this checklist and do not cheat. You know if you're cheating. You know if you are not putting your best absolute effort forward when it comes to creatives. Do not skip it, because your results will feel the harsh impact of that. So with that said, let's go. In this lesson, we're going to launch our Facebook ads. We're going to take all the creatives, the copy, and so forth, and import it into our campaigns and then push everything live. We're going to go over custom audiences, how to do your targeting, who you should be targeting, and much more. So without further ado, let's jump into it. As we go through this lesson and the rest of the launch and the analysis and the scale lessons, there's going to be terminology, if you are new to advertising, that you don't understand. And that's okay, because what you are soon to realize is that what seems really complicated is actually very simple once you have the core concepts. And Ponder Milo is here to help you. So Ponder Milo is your advertising assistant. Ponder Milo knows the Facebook advertising ecosystem and the documentation. So, for example, maybe you have a question like, what does CPM mean? Some terminology question. What does CPM mean? CPM is a cost per 1,000 impressions. Okay, well, what if you were wondering when I'm talking about reducing CPMs? How do I reduce my CPM? To reduce your CPM, you need to increase your impressions. You can do this by using Ponder Facebook Ad Tool, split testing your ads, and improving your targeting. Remember to use a scroll stopping creative, engage, and then use a call to action. Or, for example, maybe you just don't remember the link to the documentation. What's the link to Facebook ad documentation? So Milo is here to help you with, there you go, with any questions that you have. You can ask any terminology questions. If you try to go outside the scope of Facebook ads, it won't respond to you. This is for legal reasons, because AI is very powerful, and in the wrong hands, it can do some bad. So if I was trying to ask, what's the weather today? You'll see there's a filter that kicks in. Sorry, I'm not able to answer, but anything related to Facebook ads, Milo is here to help you. Questions, terminology, strategy, and so much more. So I wanted to introduce you to Milo first. So with that said, let's go ahead and start the process of launching your ads. Before we launch, I want to refresh your memory on what each of these campaigns will do. So we have the Diamond HQ, we have the Diamond Formation, and then we have the Diamond Stability Zone. So if you'll recall, let me just change this color here. If you'll recall, the Diamond HQ is the headquarters where you will store your ads. So all of the ads that you've created in Ponder, all the copy, we're going to import that into the Diamond HQ, which is going to act as a vault for all of the creatives moving forward. This is going to help you stay organized. It's also going to make this process of launching ads so much more time efficient. All right, Diamond Formation. Remember, this is cold traffic. These are people that have never heard of your product, brand, or service. And then finally, we have the Diamond Stability Zone. So this is going to be retargeting. These are individuals that have visited a website, so viewed content, added to cart, initiated to checkout, and so forth. Maybe signed up, they're a lead, or whatever it might be. They went off Facebook, they engaged with your content or your product. So each of these in total make up the Ponder Diamond right here. So we got the Diamond. Okay, let's go ahead and start out with the first portion of all of this. We can't launch ads without ads actually being inside of our ad account. So for this example, one of my good friends, mentors, and business partners, Noah Elias, has graciously blessed us with the opportunity to use one of his campaigns is a real life example. So Noah, we've been running Noah's ads. The Ponder agency has been running Noah's ads for a little over 1 year now. And one of the main products to Noah's ecosystem is a book bundle. So Noah has an amazing story, and the book bundle gives people a way to really learn his story, but not only that, but understand how to use points of failure as launch pads to excel in a variety of different areas. So we're going to actually use the new creatives. So we have creatives for cold traffic and for the retargeting. We have copy produced by Ponder. And we're actually going to go ahead, go to his ad account, and build it all out. So I'll see you over there. Okay, so one thing to quickly note is mine say Ponder 2.0. This is solely for filtering purposes, as we have countless other campaigns that are actively scaling in this ad account. So we want to make sure that everything's kept separate, and this gives me a nice, easy way to use this for demonstration purposes and actively launch a new campaign for this product. So you don't have to follow along with the 2.0. You can just put Ponder and then dash and then the name of the campaign. So This is the same structure that we set up in the previous lesson. So let's go ahead and start by importing some creatives. So I always use Google Drive. What you'll see is I actually break them out. So I'll do whoever we're working with. So in this example, Noah, then I'll put the product name. Then I break it out into formation, being our cold ads, and then our stability zone. So for example, if we come into here, these are all of the cold ads that we created. Whereas if we went into stability zone, you'll see. So as I mentioned, remember I said we record the assets and we send it off to an editor. This is how we do it. So we record the raw assets here, and then my editor comes in, creates a folder called final, and then boom, now we have our diamond stability zone ads as well. So let's go ahead. I'm going to download these. So you're going to need to have them stored on your computer. And the one that I want to launch is actually this one here. So I have a couple variations, but this one I had my video editor add captions to. So we're going to go ahead and use this one. And remember, I said I recommend 3 to 5. So